Yeah,
So
you would
you
think
would think it
the
would be at the
opposite.
top of my feed, but it isn't. It isn't at all. So
We're
yeah,
being
You
suppressed.
just have to remember. Right, you
It's
have
a
to remember
conspiracy, I
though
tell
with
you.
people.
Stay off my lawn. Oh,
it's not paranoia. Like it's not paranoia. It really isn't. It really is not.
no, it's actually real. It's going on. It's happening,
It's
and
definitely real.
just like the planets
Um,
over the top of our heads, it's really happening, and it's real. And yet,
Absolutely.
and look where we, look what we have
If
to fight
after
for view count.
if after this week people still ain't seen, I mean, this week was absolutely out there.
Oh, what a
Well,
show! What
I
a show!
cannot tell you what a show I've had here. It's just been absolutely phenomenal. Like yesterday, we had clear skies, and you could clear skies, and then all of a sudden you just see this huge shadow
Yeah,
just
there's two
walk
big ass
into the
planets
sun.
that went by midday yesterday. It was unbelievable.
Yes,
It was.
yes. But you just saw the shadow. Like you could see the shadow, and I'm like, how are people not seeing this?
Yeah, and then
Um,
the rounded cloud pattern on the bottom of the planets. It was,
yeah.
I was standing in a Walmart parking lot yesterday afternoon, just going, I can't believe that big, huge ass thing right there, and nobody's looking up.
Yeah. It's yesterday, especially, was just out there. Just it was just incredible. One of the most incredible days. I
And
don't
they're
think I've
sky pillars.
seen. I haven't had a week like this since probably 2018. It was absolutely out there, just bananas. Absolutely cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff.
And that brings back the excitement every time for me. I'll sit here and I'll be
Absolutely.
a little bit depressed because people aren't commenting, or my feed isn't being shared, or I've talked to 9 people out of anywhere from a spread feed between all our pages. We're upward of 200,000 people that I post regularly to, and I get 9 comments. It's like, hello, anybody out there? But yeah, and then I'll go and I'll walk into the Walmart parking lot and I'll be looking at that damn thing sitting there right before me, and it's like, okay, I'm completely re-excited. Let's go, man! I'm ready for the show tomorrow. Yee-hoo! Here we are, and
right,
it's a hell
right.
of a show. We got some great photographs coming in from around the world. Surprisingly, unbelievable close passes of Attu's moon, of Uri, of the asteroids underneath, and Saturn's yellow moon. And now we've got a whole series of pictures where the lead asteroid is absolutely, definitely moved over to the right, just like the site monthly drawing. And it's absolutely panning out just like the drawing. And I'm going, yeah, and I apologize, but I mean, being right is really cool, and I do enjoy it. And I just wish to God that I could share this better with everybody. I'm trying, and you got to get out there and see this stuff because it's insane, man. It's
I'm
awesome.
getting your drawings pulled up every time I do one of the comparisons where you can't deny it. Every time I always think to back of my head, I wonder what Sam thinks when he sees this. Because it
Oh,
has
it's
to blow
awesome.
his
It
it has
does.
to
It
blow
blows
your
me away every time. I'll draw it. My head tells me what's happening, and I don't sit down and copy this off of any pictures or anything. I sit down, before I even turn the computer on for that morning on the 15th prior to sunrise, because lately I'm getting up at like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's weird. Been having freaky dreams, and so is everybody else. Oh, and by the way, I know there's a lot of people out there that are really nauseous or really depressed or really confused or really uncomfortable or really dizzy, and they're having all these freakish, weird body things. A storm went by. We had this wind experience from hell, and then I just got so seasick that I literally ended up in the bathroom, hanging off the side of the tub in the toilet. I was sweating because I got seasick because a windstorm went over the top of us. So, and I mean, I was unbelievable. My daughter had to hand me cold washcloths. And I was like that for like a half hour, completely out of the blue, the moment the wind went over. So there's something going on.
Yes,
Oh, and I'm
yeah.
still, of course, hearing the
That's
30 and 40 cycle hum.
that. I think we were feeling that at the same time, Sam, because it got really windy the night before, and then the day after, it got really clear, and then I started feeling dizzy. I started feeling, and that's when they just came up. They just like dropped up.
Yeah, I
They
was
didn't-
so
they-
nauseous I
so-
couldn't even talk.
So they've been showing up in the same place, exactly the same place. That they're showing up in the northeast and southwest.
Yeah.
That's exactly where they keep showing up, in the same exact place.
For now.
For now, yeah, of course, for now. But right around that time, right before I start seeing the shadow, you could just see the sky just go not completely dark, but a huge, enormous shadow. And then I knew right then what was happening, because I started feeling it. Like, what is going on with me right now? I thought I was dehydrated, which I think most people are right now with all this heat going on.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
started feeling like crap, and I was like, yeah, this is more than just that. And then all of a sudden, bam, it hits me. It's incoming from above. It's the coolest
Yeah,
thing.
I
but
got absolutely. I used to sail a lot, and in sailboats, and I've been seasick twice. One time I was out on Lake Michigan in a very small boat for Lake Michigan, and that was, and it was choppy, and we had 30 and 40-foot swells, and when you go down and you go up and you go down, and I literally the other day I was sitting there, the wind went over, I was sitting at the table watching TV, I had to turn the TV off, I got dizzy, I got nauseous, I got sweaty, and then I had to call my daughter because my knees were shaking, and I had to call Nova and say, would you pour me a glass of lemonade, please? And then all of a sudden I thought, oh God, I'm going to throw up. So I ran to the bathroom, and I didn't throw up, but I spent a half hour holding onto the side of the tub right next to the toilet going, what the hell is this? Where, and I was absolutely in my brain going up and going down and going up and going down. And it's like, I feel like I'm totally seasick. What the hell? And it was because the wind.
And then I got
It was
really
weird.
achy. I got really achy afterwards. Everything just started hurting me in my back, and then I crashed last night. Last night I crashed for like 10 hours. And then I got up around 10 at night. I jumped, almost zipped out of bed with so much energy. I've been at work since 10 last night. I got off of work like an hour ago when I started talking to you guys. I started talking to you, Rebecca, and
Yeehaw!
but I've been up for a long time now. So
Oh boy.
I'm like,
Oh, that means you're going to be
I
giddy
crashed.
early. We're making a good joke.
I will crash
We'll
and
do one
then
of those
I'll
shows.
bounce back, like I have all this energy. I'll either be exhausted or I'll be very zippy, either one. It's never, whenever this happens, it's always a roller coaster up and down.
Sorry for the confusion. I see confusion about the time. Yes, it was postponed, and then we changed gears. We switched gears. You know how that works, and made it work out for today after all, but pushing it back by 1 hour. That's what happened. But for a minute there, I don't know, maybe a couple of hours, it was canceled. And here we are. We made it work out, right? So, but I guess I should just go ahead and stop here for a second. And I just want
Are you
everybody
sure
to
you
know-
want to do that?
Yeah, I do, because I feel like I'm just going to be dancing around it.
Don't get them all.
I know. No, I know. But I feel like let's just get this behind me. But Alan and I have separated 2 days ago. And I had no idea that was going to happen. That's what happened. So I just because that's why the show is kind of rocky today already. And I'm not as prepared as you normally see, but I can't control other people, even if it's not in their best interest to do what they do, I have to let it be as it is, so I'm just like, more wounded,
We don't
Distracted.
know each other. We're only
You are more
here for each
distracted
other.
than normal.
that
I
is
think the
the
dog
first-
wants in, Jillian.
Yeah. So, obviously I have way more time now to work on things, who knows what, as well, how things will evolve from here, but
Everything's going to be fine.
We're all,
So
we're all
on that note, because of this occurrence, it is really, really, really important that people donate to Rebecca and her fund site because her monetary is now changed.
Yeah.
And in order for her to continue to do the show and pay for the things, she actually had to do some canceling already because of this. In order for her to pay for this stuff that you folks are now expecting, and I know it's a lot to ask, and I do apologize because I realize that all of us are flat ass broke, me included.
right.
But even a little bit, everybody just, give her $5 a month, $2 a month if you can, because you got the Venmo and the PayPal and the Cash App available. You don't have to add a large amount of money in a letter and a 50-cent stamp. You can do it real fast. Throw her $2, throw her $5, throw her $20, whatever you can afford, because this lady has to pay for things now that she cannot absolutely afford. And in order for us to continue this program and give you guys the regular weekly information, donations have to start improving. And I want to thank everybody that has already donated in the near and dear past, because your donations do make a huge difference. I appreciate all the cards people sent me and all the nice notices about my birthday. Thank you very much. But it is very important to also remember Rebecca, because she works really hard for all of you guys.
Right. I mean, it's because I love it. I mean, I can't get enough. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do, Rebecca, because you work your butt off for this.
And also, the fact that you were, I can't help but just say, the fact that you were open with us and everybody here, I think goes to show that we are all a family.
Thank you.
Here,
Yep.
and
Right.
and we all are here for each other. And if there's anything, if it's even if it's just talking, Rebecca, anything that
Right.
we can do, just
I appreciate that. I know.
I went through a divorce 40 years ago. I'm sure everybody that has known me for years knows that my divorce was pretty tough on me. So I get it. It's really hard.
Right.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I understand too, because it sucks. It really does suck when somebody leaves or dies in your close household.
Well, especially when it's
do love
such
you.
a surprise, especially when it's such a surprise as it was.
Yeah, shocker.
My divorce, my divorce was not shocking at all, but
Right.
it didn't make
There's
it
one thing when you lead
easier.
up to that,
But I do know that when it catches you by surprise like that, it can be, it's got to be pretty, got to be more difficult. So we're all family here, guys, and let's try to help Rebecca as much as we can.
Thank you.
In the
Thank you.
coolest
Really,
show of
thank you.
anyone
I mean,
ever seen
it's
all of
crazy.
their lives.
Yeah, now was like the best time we'd ever had. Now was our best time. But he's been so unwell for a long time, and it's just affecting his decisions altogether, and it's really tragic. It really is. But anyway, I mean, that's what happened. So, but thank you all for being
If
here.
you need us to be shorter tonight as well, just let us know. Okay?
I told Sam, well, that's why we got
No,
I almost
discussion is
didn't
better.
do the show, because I was, I couldn't control my emotions. Basically, I didn't want to have meltdowns or whatever. But so far, I've been okay. And
I had to
Sam
come in and give her a pre-show
really-
talk, and the show must go on.
He did. He's like, no, we got to do this. We got to, and he's right. He is right, and I'm better for it, because otherwise I'd be sitting here thinking by myself, and that's no good. So
I can't stress this enough.
Yeah,
guys.
and now you're spending.
This information must continue. We have to make it work because it's so important.
yes,
It is so
yes,
important.
yes,
What's happening in our skies right now is so important that we get this information out there, because it has to go mainstream, because
right.
we're all being affected.
If we
by
don't,
it.
who will?
We understand what's happening, so we have to come together. If it's just $1, $2, $5, I know it's hard times for everybody, guys. I work a lot, so I'm
I was going to say,
financially I'm not great, but I have enough for what I need, right? I know Rebecca's going to be struggling now
Yeah.
with that second income, that combined income. It's one of the hardest. It was a very hard part for me too. Once you have to do things for yourself, it was just on one income. Especially these days,
Oh,
with,
yes.
everything's gotten so expensive, it's difficult.
No, and
I will continue
That's what I'm doing.
to help you pay for StreamYard or Streamlabs, whichever one we decide
Right.
to use.
yeah,
So,
let's just focus on StreamYard at the
StreamYard.
moment.
All right.
I can still practice on I think there's a free
Okay.
Streamlabs.
And then,
Because-
eventually, when you want to move on to that, we'll do them. But I will, I will put that for.
Because I don't want to stop the show altogether. You know, we can afford StreamYard and have a show. It doesn't cost that much.
Yeah,
But,
if you need
but-
help, just let me know as well, just before,
yeah, I know.
incoming funds
I
and
know.
all the
And I
rest
mean,
of it.
I want everybody to know that as far as when it comes to like understanding how broke, like if you don't have money, I mean, like
No,
there
we
is
all
no
we
any-
all are. We all are.
there's not anybody that
Oh,
doesn't understand. I just want to make sure because I'm not one of those people that can't relate. I mean, Alan and I were homeless for 2 years.
Yeah, but we do
Yeah.
have to. We do actually have to publicly ask for more donations than what
I
we
understand
have been
this is why we
getting.
don't have any money.
See,
And
if
we don't do that a lot.
if it was just look, if it was just everybody just a little bit, it wouldn't really amount to a whole lot. It wouldn't affect.
Couple
$5
dollars,
is
yeah.
not beyond anyone. You know what I mean? $5 would go a long way if it was 10, 20, 30, 40 people who donated it.
Sorry, Audrey.
Now,
would go a
100, 300. I
long
mean, can
way.
you imagine if you had 10,000 people give you $5?
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't have. We wouldn't have to worry for a long time.
No.
And I keep mentioning that to people too, because I mean, you paid for a lot of equipment. I'm on my 15th computer, and we've been doing this for 14 years now. And it's not like we're newbies in the field.
And I
We
can't
are
stress that
the
enough,
number one.
We're not asking donations to go out and party and spend it on ourselves. It's not like that at all. It's just to keep this show going, and it's
Right.
as Sam was saying. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Sam, but 14 years of doing this.
Oh, that's right. Please, by all means.
14 years of doing this stuff, and it has to go somewhere. Like it has to. We've been doing this for so long. It has to go somewhere. It has to go. So I think if we all come together, we
Yeah.
a little bit at a time, we can get this. We can pay for expenses. That's all we really are asking for. It's just expenses. We're not asking.
It's
for
entirely understandable that this is outside the norm. This is outside the cultural norm where people are going to go, oh, this is just another conspiracy theory. And it's not. It's actually a group of people from around the world which is why we call it citizen science and everything, because we have proven this over 14 years. We're not just talking out of our pant leg here, or the backside of our britches, so to speak. But we have all of this information, and it is accurate, month after month, year after year, going back for 14 years now. We've watched these planets since they were much, much smaller, and we wouldn't be standing here telling you this if it was not true. And you're missing the absolutely coolest show in the entire anything I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just stand there and drool.
Oh,
Yes.
just wait to see what we have for you guys today. It was just
Oh yeah. Well, let's take a look. Let's go ahead and go there.
great. And
Yes.
I just want to say, Audrey, I'm really sorry for
I know.
your divorce. It's
What's
not
going
easy. It's
on?
not easy, but we all are a family here. And if you need to reach out to any one of us, reach out. And
Of course.
even if it's just listening, we're always here. I know some of us work, some of us have, but if we don't get to you back right away, we will eventually. We're here. We're here for each other. That's what family does. So just want to put that out.
Yep, I was speaking to Audrey for a wee while today, so yeah, her too.
Right.
Hi,
Yeah, we had a lot of people all last
How's
week
potato soup?
send in so much wonderful material came in last week, and I'm just I'm looking at stuff going, oh my God, this just gets better and better and better every day lately. And it's really weird because we've got this blue sky configuration, and there's nothing there, and then just wham, out of the blue, there they are. They come in, they move quick, and it's a whole new ball game in a lot of ways that we've never even seen before. And of course,
that's
all
why
of this,
that's why it's been so fun. This week has been so incredible because it's clear skies, and they're showing up out of clear skies. It's not like you have some clouds in the sky and then something shows up and it's a little difficult to see. No, it's clear blue skies and then a big ball, big circle just shows up.
I have it.
I have never seen it that clear.
Walmart parking lot.
I have never seen it this.
Oh, it was, and because that is because they're being facially illuminated now, because they're going beyond they're above us and going beyond Earth, and now we're seeing the rounded bottom of the planets and these facial illuminations where we're actually seeing the full freaking circle right there. And remember, they're sky pillars. They're not little dots or small basketballs at arm's length. No, we're talking, a football field in the sky right in front of you, as far as your arms can spread there to there. You're in front of you, and they're facially illuminated, and we've been waiting for this for years now, and it's just now happening, and it was unbelievable yesterday. I mean, I was just like peeing my pants.
I have 2 time lapses where you could see them going past us, going away from us, and being illuminated. Because what I've been seeing is they're coming in from the south, from the southwest. And they're moving towards the northeast, and you can see them just going away. As they get away, you could see them illuminate, and it's the most incredible show you will ever see, guys. Right now is the best show ever. It is the clearest you'll probably ever get to see it. Even in 2018 was a little cloudy and a little more difficult to see, but right now it's like clear blue skies, and then they just drop out of the sky and they move really fast. It's like 15, 20 minutes and they're gone. It is the most incredible.
And your window time is really short now.
It is.
I had a lot of people commenting on that about that this week on Skywatcher. The speed of how fast they're going by is way quicker now. So I go out and look, 4 or 5 times a day. If you got nothing but clear skies, there's not a cloud in the sky, not a cloud in the sky, and then all of a sudden there are a couple, go out, spend that half hour watching what's about to happen right before you. Now remember, they're facially illuminated now. Prior to this, we'd see the dark areas of them, dark areas above us, dark, maybe a side crescent illumination, maybe an underbottom illumination at sunrise, sunset, midday. But now they're actually going beyond Earth and above us and into our view behind Earth. Literally, if the sun is at 11, the other day it was 11 o'clock in the morning for me that I saw a really good facial of Nibiru, for example. But and then yesterday, I don't remember exactly when it was, but I believe it was in the early part of the day when I was at Walmart, and they moved beyond Earth and into the light, so you can see the facial illumination. The thing is, they're so close now that we've found over the years, when the planets got bigger and closer and closer and closer, they would when we first started seeing them, we could see the facial colors of the planet. We could see that Nepenthe was green. We could see that Atu was purple and striped. We could see the stripes of Uri and everything, and Uri's white and all of that. But when they get close to Earth, because they're so close, they turn more blue, and that has to do with us on our outlook of our atmosphere. Everything turns a blue hue because the blue spectrum is the light prism effect that we get through our atmosphere from solar lighting. Now, in space, light does not, you can't see it go past you. The human eye can only see it once it breaks down into the prism effect. I'm glad you have this picture because I actually saw this by eye.
What's going on? Yeah.
And if you notice, there's a lot going on here. You've got a triangle ship in there, but it's in front of the red asteroid.
Oh, wow.
The red asteroid is directly behind that pyramid, and you can see the shape of it. And that was illuminated the other day, and I saw this same occurrence happen, and it was a short window. It was like 15 minutes, and it was gone. And it was just below the sun, just slightly to the right of the sun. And I saw this as well, and that was midday that I'd seen it. So I don't know when this was captured, but yeah, and oh, and
There it is.
Maria sent in
Deny
some
it.
pictures where she
Wow.
got some triangle craft in it as well, which we'll see later. Go ahead,
Right.
Rebecca, do your thing.
I just want to tell Carol Ann to stay
Yeah,
safe.
when light
and
breaks
keep
down through the
posted.
pyramid, once it,
That's no
Oh, wow.
good.
Tornado watch for
Yeah.
the human eye cannot see light in space till it breaks down into an identifiable hue that the human eye can see. Now, I believe that birds can see differently and better, so that's why they're chirping in the middle of the night when these planets are over the top. Oh, and by the way, we've also had a huge amount of nocturnal planetary sightings come in as well. The prime example is this picture on the right-hand side in the upper corner right. That is actually a past sunset nocturnal illumination of the bottom of, let me see, Attu's moon. Duh, look at the picture below it. That way I don't have to think for myself. But yeah, we get some fantastic captures, and I sent Rebecca a whole bunch of pictures beforehand, and I hope over time she's going to load these things up and
getting
go
those
through them.
loaded.
Well, sorry
The
to
necessity for
I
really cool
I-
illumination.
It really pains me to have to correct you there, Sam, because I never have. It's my first time.
Oh.
But that was actually that was sunrise.
Okay, please do.
That was
Okay.
sunrise, but it
Was
was
it okay? Sunrise.
well before sunrise, like well before sunrise.
Okay, I you know, and what I meant by that, is the sun is below the horizon, which would
yes,
have been
that's
the
what I was going to say.
better way to
The
phrase
sun is well below the horizon.
Thank you.
But look at this,
Thank you.
guys.
Please,
look,
if if I
So
screw up,
somebody
correct
told
me.
Somebody told me the other day. Well, I mean, it was a little bit. It wasn't really completely wrong, but I gotta point this out, guys. In the morning, okay. Somebody told me the other day, these are just clouds. It's blue. I'm like, okay. Look at the bottom of it, and there's a time lapse to this. I think Rebecca has it ready for.
I do have it ready. I was going to say, let's pull that up, and we'll talk about it. Hang on.
Okay, all right.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
getting it.
watch that.
Hi, Amy. I didn't. I
Hello,
feel bad. I
Amy.
didn't get to say hi
I'm-
to everybody individually, but you all know. I know you're here. Thank you for being here.
I'm sitting here
Let's see.
smiling, being proud of Jesus because he sees the stuff. He knows what he's talking about, and I'm sure I am proud of you.
I
So-
can't tell you how.
Thank you for and thank you for correcting me.
How
I
excited I get with all this stuff. You know,
now that's a
will
separate
always
opinion,
be-
but thank you for
I
both.
will
of
always
them.
be grateful for opening my eyes, because this is the coolest thing ever.
Oh, it is. It truly is.
It is
and,
one of
you
the
know,
coolest.
and
things
I
that's
saw
ever
them
happened
early.
in my life. You know, it's been the coolest thing that I've ever experienced in life. You know, aside from
I saw them before most people because I was expecting them to come. And when I saw the planets come here, I started documenting it, and that was in early 2010. And we've been all gathering up as a group of friends from around the world, and we talk to thousands of people every week. We hope. I try to personally talk to as many people as I can, and if I haven't answered you, I apologize because I am being bombed regularly by a lot of folks, and I do try to get to as many people as I can. But I'm actually, I mean, I'm sitting here to this day going.
I've been getting a lot of comments too that I have not been able to get to, and I just want you guys to know, it's not, I do work like 50 hours a week, guys. I sometimes if I don't get to you, if I don't
We
get
try.
to one, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's just I have
Time.
limited amount of time sometimes that I just can't. But
Follow
it's
the famous index finger.
my favorite topic in the world. So when I have time for it, I won't shut up about it. So just so you all know.
So,
Oh,
you sent me
I noticed something on last week's show. I apologize, Rebecca. I noticed something on, and I want to mention this to our listeners out here. This is why I'm bringing it up, and then I won't bring it up again. The reason that we're stepping over the top of each other a lot of the time is because I think that there's a big lag between my microphone and what I'm seeing. I think we're
Right.
suffering a lag time between us, and when I watch Jesus's reaction, and there's a count of like 1, 2, 3 before he finishes hearing me talk. So it's like I talk, and then there's a count of 3 that he hears it. So this is part of why we're talking over the top of each other, and we apologize for that. Bad internet.
Because I really do try to kind of wait until there's, I'm not perfect to it, but I do kind of make it a point to kind of, and I think we all do. So we talk about it pretty often to kind of give each other time to kind of finish what they're saying, so we don't. But we do have very lagging. We do have a lag. I think we have experience.
That's a Saturn's yellow moon right there.
Wow.
Look how damn big that is.
Yesterday. That was it yesterday or the day before? It was.
That's the side of Uri and Saru.
The coolest thing. This I because you kind of look. It kind of looks like the salamander shaped things there.
Yep.
So I was like, this has to be Uri, and the size of it just tells me it was.
Oh, and the Skull asteroid is also in that shot, but it was behind another asteroid, but it was peeking its eyes up over the top. That's Atu's moon.
I thought so because this is how they keep showing up. This is northeast, and southwest. Now they keep showing up in the same place.
The famous index finger. Dun, dun, dun. I love that you do this.
Look at how big that is, guys. Look at how enormous that is. Oh, this thing showed up above me, and then it started moving away. I have this time lapse, and you can see how it's moving away from. It's moving.
You can see the white line of the other one on top.
So they're being facially illuminated, guys. If you wake up in the morning at dawn, you'll notice that the sky's white. The sky should not be white, unless there's clouds. But you'll see that there's no clouds, and it looks white. I really don't know how people don't question that. I really don't get it. But it's white because there's light being reflected on their atmospheres, and it looks white. It just looks white. But if you notice at the bottom of that video, you can see how it's white from the sun.
Saturn's yellow moon. It's Saturn and Nibiru.
Incredible.
Yeah, the fingertip is pointing to a Saturn's yellow moon, and it's very large. And then in the middle upper area, the long box cube is wrapped in those weird, funky little ghost-like clouds in the upper middle. That's where the long box cube is. There again, that big circle right there is, backlit crescent flare.
Big crescent flare. Yep.
It's the sun shining behind what your finger just circled.
Yep.
And I believe that's a Saturn's yellow moon. Look how damn big that thing is. Yeah. Look how, and then the ion tail going up toward the upper right, off the base of the Saturn's yellow moon.
The shadowing that these things are creating is just blows my mind how nobody's batting an eye, because these shadows are so. This thing just shadowed the whole freaking valley, the whole Salt Lake Valley. I don't understand how nobody.
Everything's wrong with the light. I'm amazed that people don't know the light's wrong.
And I want to.
The light is wrong. How can you not notice it?
Everybody can see this. I think the biggest thing is that you have to be able to. Disbelief is one of the biggest problems with people. Just try to get past that, guys. Just try to get past the disbelief. And just give yourself the opportunity to learn something. If you think you know everything,
this couldn't be real.
You'll never learn anything new if you don't. If you just shut yourself off to anything. We know our government lies to us. We know that. We've always known that. So you have to be self-taught. Teach yourself. Learn, get familiar with your sky, guys. Don't take our word for it. Just get familiar with your sky. You'll see this too. I promise you. You will see this too. Just get familiar with your skies. Record, photograph, time lapse, and I promise you, you will see it too. Anybody can see this, guys. Anybody can see this. Anybody.
Like there's
just remember that they're not just clouds.
Right.
Each one of these planets has their own individual atmosphere around them, and they have a repetitive pattern that we have watched for 14 years surrounding these planets. They all have their own colors, but being that they're as close as they are to us, they're all dark blue or facially blue currently. Now, over time in the next couple of years, they'll probably start getting very far or farther away from us, I should restate. And because when they do that, then we'll start seeing their facial colors moreover. But currently, they're so close proximity to us and over the top of us and going, what the meaning of the word Nibiru is planet of crossing. And never in a million years did I believe that they were going to be this close. And the planets do not crash into each other. Yeah, they electrically repel. This is why these big storms, and this is why we're feeling weird, is we feel them.
Yeah.
And the repetitive cloud patterns.
They're crossing right over us from from northwest to south. Southwest to northeast, guys. They're crossing right over us. Right now, it couldn't get any more. Planet of the crossing. It's literally happening right now. Like right now is like the thick of the action, guys. Right now is a time to get out there to start watching. Please, I would love to see people's work. I so much has been coming out, but we can do more. Get out there, guys. Start recording. I don't. Audrey said earlier in one of my posts that I must have fancy equipment. I don't. My equipment is probably combined is probably like $40. Aside from my phone camera is probably the more expensive one. But my other cameras, they're $20 cameras I got off of Amazon. It's nothing fancy. You don't need a GoPro, $300 GoPro. You really don't need that stuff. Anything, any little camera these days will work for you. There's a lot of great stuff on Amazon. Try to get a wide angle. You need a wide angle because things are so big that you can't just get them in a little frame. You need something a little wider. Sometimes you can. I usually like to use both formats because, I get a lot of shit for using wide angle, but both my formats show the same thing. Your eyes will see the same thing. So let's get out there, guys. Let's put this information out there. It's time to watch right now. Right now's the thick of the action, guys. Come on.
And look at the dark areas first. Look for the dark areas in the sky. Wear gray-black sunglasses. Any capture is better than no capture, especially once, and nobody's going to, there are the occasional fluke where we get, newbie, pardon the expression, get newbie justice where they get the absolute perfect capture of their first photographs. But generically, once you start taking a few photographs, and then you have one of us tell you what is in that shot, and then you do a comparative to the monthly site drawing and how we lay it out month after month, year after year, and the accuracy ratio is so it's unimpeachable. You cannot argue with the science that we've been developing and where we have gotten to.
Yeah, this thing is coming full circle, guys.
Asteroids passing.
This thing is coming full.
This is the 180-day cycle. Welcome to the electric universe.
It was a slow start on my. Oh, that is crazy.
Wow.
Wait,
that's the side of that too.
Can you go back
to
the
angle?
This
really the angle, right?
This really reminded me of something I took a while back.
Sorry, let's go back.
Yeah, that's the side of that too. That's the bottom of the that's the bottom of the necessity right there.
Right there.
That's the side of that too.
It looks like a little candy cane kind of thing.
See the stripes?
What is that,
Hold on,
Sam?
stop it.
What is that, Sam?
It's that too. It's that too. It's the stripes of that too. You can see the bottom two colored stripes. Now the illumination is because of placement. It's moving, and the top is directly illuminated. The top of smaller Attu, but Attu's moon is in front of it. But this is Attu, and it's at a distance, which is weird. What's going on again and weird? They're coming in at us, and they're getting small again and then bigger. And they weren't doing that recently. They were just sort of stable where we were transiting. And then ever since we went into the summer solstice orbit around that corner, the whole ball game, and even you're talking about the direction they come from and go to, even that has changed within the last 3 months. And so I'm reassessing approach and everything else because we are literally, like you mentioned, 2018 earlier. we are going backwards in stage because they're now above us and they're actually getting slightly farther away from us within the last year and a half. So there is a transition in size. So this is actually, you can see the stripes, the angled stripes about too. And behind it over to the right, this is the bottom illumination of the bottom open core of Nepacity, which is right beside, and yet semi in front of Attu's in front of that, and yet the size displacement because of the axis tip and everything that they're going through, because they've moved over again to the left hand side, and then they go beyond us and then back around in this little oval. This again is a discharge. This is a 180-day cycle discharge between Attu and Uri. Lightning does not go up. This is going around the planet faces. Look for the large circles that they're creeping around the bottom of the planets. Now we watched that discharge. This is the bottom of open Nepacity, open core. Close pass, very small, tiny planet Nepacity. A lot of the times you can look in the core and you can see the green. But this is a close pass of a planet right here.
Those clouds,
They do not collide.
those things that kind of hang down like that, is that Nepacity or Uri?
Yeah, it's Nepacity. Yeah, this is Nepacity. Uri would have a rolling. Well, it could be Uri. You're right. You're right. But I don't see a rolling tumble because Uri has the asteroids in front of it. This looks more like the. Okay, those are cold gases because this very cold planet from space comes in and then bumps into our upper warmer atmosphere. Even a 200-degree difference creates those dry ice-like drop clouds, and that's what's at the bottom of the open core of Nepacity.
Those ones, those clouds that kind of hang down like little tentacles. They always, I always wasn't.
Yeah, that
sure
which we did. So
if it was an effect from Nepacity or Uri, because it doesn't happen as often.
Well, in all of the, the Skull asteroid gets it, all the other asteroids get it. With the closer they get, there's always a cold gaseous drop tail because of the temperature exchange. It's like putting dry ice on the countertop, and
that's why I get confused. Because
the gases drop off.
Because they all do it. It's not like
it's not indicative to one planet or another. It's cold.
Gotcha.
Cold meets warmer atmosphere. I'm not saying it's in our atmosphere, but Earth has a reflective heat dome that goes beyond our outer atmosphere. We put off heat. I mean, immediately outside of our space, we're 220 degrees below zero, and you go, 10 miles deeper, and you're looking at 440 degrees below zero. So when those warmer bodies come in for a close pass, they're ice cold. They're 440 degrees below zero, and then they warm up 200 degrees, and they drop those gases, start to accumulate between the transference of heat and cold exchange, and then you get the ion drop tails, just like dry ice. The gases will drop across the tabletop and then drop off the tabletop on the counter. So that's what's going on. Now, when you're seeing stuff like this, look for the rotation and that liquidy experience. That's it. This is 100. That's a discharge between planets right there.
I wasn't even.
Because look, it's purple lightning.
Sam, speaking of discharge, Time Traveler has a question about that. About how why does the electric discharge happen? Is that how they do not collide?
Repulsion.
Right. We're attached to a chemistry equation. Our polarity and their polarity do not match. They are of an opposite charge than we are. They rotate one way, we rotate another. That's why we don't steal planets from each other. That's why we're a stable compound, and we just nudge each other out of the way electrically. Because the static discharge equality, bad word but good word, the standard equality between the planets of a larger planet has a higher static discharge than ours. And this is why a lot of times you'll see those towering lights that go straight up into space. That's us being robbed of our ion electricity by the larger body. But when a larger body comes in close, they don't have the same charge. They're electric as well. Our electric atmosphere and their electric atmosphere co-intermingle, they discharge and they repel each other. That's why it's a repetitive, non-paradoxical binary solar system. We don't crash into each other because we coexist cycle after cycle after cycle for what 6.5 or whatever 8 billion years now, and we don't
Also,
destroy each other. It's
I-
not the destroyer, and that's part of the disinformation.
and we're definitely different.
That
you know,
is illumination of the red asteroid.
when you mentioned, Sam, that
Yep.
our different polarities, and how it's interesting how our moons on our solar systems, most of our moons and asteroid activity is on the northern hemisphere, while these other planets are on the southern. Ours are on the northern hemisphere. They're on the southern
Right.
hemisphere. So it's opposite polarities. It's one of it's so much
Right,
things
yeah.
made sense when you mentioned that. I was like, oh wow, I can't believe I never noticed that. But that made so much sense to me when you mentioned that, and
Well, it's the
I always
simplicity
think
of
about
balance.
yeah.
We're a chemistry equation. We exist joined together from the two stars because those are our atoms, and the planets and the asteroids and the moons are all protons, neutrons, electrons, etc. And the placement is in actual. If you were to put Tinker Toys in a chemistry class together, we are of the soft metals group. We've got two atoms, one central electron cluster, which is planet Imru, and all the planets and everything else are laid out. Now it's sort of, and I post these pictures all the time. It's like even Vitruvian Man, Da Vinci is telling you about the universe and the secrets of the universe, and with Vitruvian Man in the 5-pointed star, we are a 5-star inside a larger 5-star. Our planets in our solar system are farther spread out. We are the outside 5-star. They are the inside 5-star atomic structure compound, and yet we're joined and linked together by our wholeness. We don't crash into each other. We exist and evolve correctly and electrically amongst each other. And if you look at Jupiter and Saturn, and they've got 60 and 80 and 90 moons, well, and we have to bring this up every once in a while. All of the reason we call it the object cluster group is because we're not absolutely 100% sure that, for example, that the tan asteroid is not necessarily a tan moon. Now, in generic terms, Uri should have 8, 10, 15, up to 60 moons. So how do we weigh that unless we get some really close shots of them to see that they're either crater laden or they're shaping like an asteroid? Most asteroids are gaseous or volcanic or sedimentary clusters, composite groups mashed together in space and everything. And all of that has to do with a salt crystal. Because if you have a salt crystal, then dirt starts attracting to salt. So a lot of asteroids are probably inner core salt based. But anyway, that has to do with space as well. And please do go look that up. So we have to talk about the 180-day cycle, and we don't even know how many of those are moons or how many are asteroids. But we can tell you absolutely for sure that there is a shitload of them. And this is part of the debris that is coming across the top of us now as well. And we are going to be suffering all summer long this close pass of the 180-day cycle. Let's see, March, April, May, June, and we're heading into July. So we're right in the middle of the 180-day cycle. So here we go. And our freak weather that's going to come in. Anyway, tonight in Missouri. I'm sorry for you who live in Missouri tonight.
Well, last night it
Be
dropped
ready if you live in
again.
Missouri.
Last night it dropped. The temperature dropped again last night. We've been almost at 100, and last night they dropped down to about 60, about 58, 60 degrees.
Yeah, there's a cold front. Our weather went backwards. A rotational cutoff low came in through Montana, and then it went past and through us, and it was coming up from moisture from your area. And then it went by into North Dakota, South Dakota, and then went backwards again, rotation. And now it's running literally through North Dakota, heading toward Minnesota, and then will lean upwards into Canada That's going to affect Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, etc. tonight, and it'll run all the way. The effects of that transitional low switch is going to create some major storms, literally all the way through Pennsylvania and New York State by tonight, tomorrow. And be prepared for high winds and extreme hurricane strength force winds again. And then, of course, what's going to happen in Missouri tonight, about 10 p.m. in Missouri. Kansas and Nebraska are going through it a few hours earlier. So be prepared for the flare-up of new storms from this unusual Arctic cutoff low that came in the middle of the jet stream, which is why your temperatures drop. To make a long story short.
I've been meaning to ask you, are these temperature changes? I mean, I know you just explained it, but does shadowing have anything, because there's been so much shadowing lately, and there's been a lot of night activity as well. Are those temperature drops?
I do have to admit that.
Is that anything
actually
with us being shadowed, more than usual?
The northern jet stream is nothing in comparison to what's going on in the South Pole right now. And the South Pole people in the southern hemisphere are having a really rough winter already. And it hasn't even hit midwinter for them. That's a very good point. I do believe shadowing does play a role in what's been going on with our freaky northern hemisphere weather. And why the equator has been freakily weird as well. And speaking of which, there is an oncoming hurricane. It is currently a tropic storm, Tropical Storm Beryl, and it will form at least Category 2, Category 3 storm by Monday, and it'll be going across Jamaica by then. And whether it stalls on Jamaica and Cuba by Monday is the difference of whether or not it becomes a major storm.
I'm really concerned about
Excuse me, I couldn't hear you.
I'm really concerned what hurricane is going to do because
people should be, because there's a full stable.
Hurricanes are a state, take up entire states. Unlike a tornado that is really local, hurricanes could devastate states at a time.
Well, I got an example for you. Last week in Russia, over Moscow, they had a hurricane that formed on land. So you do not count on hurricanes for only from the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic coast or off the coast of Baja, like Las Vegas and LA got last year. No, there's hurricanes, and this is, of course, the same thing that happened in Oklahoma through the East Coast and Kentucky and all those storms and tornadoes we went through a few weeks ago at the beginning of tornado season. Those were on land forming hurricanes, rotational storms, and they're trying to pan them off as derechos. And a lot of this has to do with close passes of the asteroids over the planets that cause these wake eddies in our atmosphere that create these intensely unusual storms, a vortex, and we've even talked about contrary rotating vortexes forming over the U.S. So ask yourself, what would cause an opposite rotation of something they've never generically seen before? Hurricane force winds that develop over the top of Oklahoma. Winds that come out of Colorado, and then all of a sudden something gets happened to them. And then you get these rolling wake storms, electrical storms from hell that have tornadoes and wiped out how many people's homes all of April and May. And notice how fast everybody's already forgotten that all those people are out there suffering and have no homes. It's stacking up. It's happening everywhere. Switzerland's flooding. China flooded again last week. They're having dams break all over. Currently, Iowa and parts of South Dakota and parts of the Midwest are also flooding in the northern off the Missouri River from these same weather storms. Look at that rolling moisture above you. That is a wave of another atmosphere. That is not our atmosphere.
Wow.
I was thinking.
That is not.
I don't want to talk politics, but I'm just going to make one quick point. You recently
Climate
posted
change.
something, Sam. You said that when there's a problem at the circus, rodeo, or was it they bring out the clowns, right?
That's circus. Right. They
At the
send
circus.
out the clown car.
What are we seeing now in the presidential, debates? A complete circus, and it has everybody's attention when the real show is going on above us. There's always some distraction. There's always some circus. There's always some stupid something that keeps everybody focused over here. We have to stop doing that, guys. Stop. I'm not saying completely disassociate yourself from life, from everyday life. I'm not saying that, but we have to realize that a lot of what we're seeing right now, a lot of the distractions,
Disassociate yourself
a lot
from
of
the
it-
news thinking for you.
Things cannot
Think for
be
yourself.
this bad.
Nope.
Exactly. That's kind of that's my point that I'm trying to make. We have to think for ourselves. We have to kind of take these things with a grain of salt and don't give them as much importance as they see it and then move on. There's so much more going on, guys. There's so much more going on than what's going on down here on Earth. Once you see what's going on up there, you will understand a lot of the bullshit we're seeing down here on Earth and why it's happening. And none of it is a coincidence. Most of it is purposely done just to keep us engaged in something, anything but what's really happening. We have to get it together. We have to stop falling for this shit, because they've been doing it to us for years. These distractions to keep us just, asleep and doing the same shit. We have to stop. We have to think for ourselves. We have to get familiar with our environment, with what's happening around us, guys.
I'm gonna play this video.
Oh, we've never
and it's
seen
from
anything like this in our lives.
Okay,
y'all.
cool video.
Okay.
I don't have the intro on it, so I wanted to make sure y'all knew. But this is from Alexander and Germany.
I love
Okay.
his.
Here we
I
go.
love his work. I love his work.
Yeah, he was here earlier.
He probably still is. Hope so.
Yeah.
I haven't got to see this yet.
That's the asteroids underneath Uri. The Dan asteroid. She's got different stripes. There's like 5 there. Wow, the skull asteroid is in that one.
What is that curve?
That is,
What is that? Like what?
that's,
is
I
that?
think it's Saturn.
Christ.
I think that's the
Yeah.
Saturn right there on the upper right. Yep, yeah, that's the Saturn on the upper right.
Okay.
And you also have there's other stuff in here too. The green asteroid is the little bird in the right next to the roof corner on the right middle. See little dots? That's the green asteroid in front of the Saturn. And the Saturn's yellow moon is farther off picture, or it is upper middle, which could be the faceplate, but I don't see it as thus. I would call this the side of his planet is Saturn.
Wow.
Looks like a triangle, like a pyramid there, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, the long box cube is right there as well, so we're probably seeing some Star Destroyers parked next to the long box cube, even though it's in shadow. See right there in the dead center. Yeah, hit pause for sure. Dead center, just middle right, where there's that double pointed white cloud with the bracket around it in front of it. That is where the long box cube is.
Wow.
Time
You
traveler.
can
I
see that
agree.
dark square.
So,
See the dark blue square? That's
On
the
the
side
left.
front face of the long box cube, and then it continues on upper to the upper right or middle right. As you know, it's not really hard angle, but it just continues. Think of a block, a rectangle block headed from that square away to the right.
It is.
And then the side of his stratum is also, wait a minute. Wow, yeah, I'm confused. I was looking at the light going, am I right? Am I wrong? What am I looking at? The Texas cube has also been cited a lot this week. As a matter of fact, Maria did send some pictures with the long box cube in it as well from Alaska today. So, and we barely talked about that this show, you know. I like this meteor burning thing heading really too close to Earth for my comfort. Yeah, that's his Saturn right there, right at sunset.
Yeah, that's cool, Alexander. He has a very, very long video of this. He's like, there's way more to see in a very long video. I know that's true. I have right now I have a 35-minute video to look at. I haven't taken the time to see it, but I know it's good. I just need to do something.
Great.
with it.
Time Traveler, the cube. Traveler asks this question: what is that cube? The cube.
Okay. Yes.
Cube is an intergalactic craft from the Federation, and there's two of them plus. I'm going to say plus because we don't even have a count on the smaller ones. We know there's two main. There's the Texas cube and the long box cube that we regularly cite, and then hundreds and hundreds of Star Destroyers, and they look just like Star Destroyers from Star Wars, the movie, which is why we call them that. We've got hundreds of close-ups of them, encased in clouds and not encased in clouds. Jillian took a really good capture here a couple of months ago where she got like 15 or 20 of them parked over the Earth. It was awesome.
For a second. Just so, for anybody that's watching this that does not know what a cube is, here's a few pictures.
Wow.
You know, so these are no such thing as a square cloud, right? Until recently.
Yeah, especially when the 3D rectangular.
Yeah.
Hey, can
So
you
that's
highlight BR's question next
Okay.
before it goes too
Yeah.
far?
Okay.
I don't know if I've seen BR here before. I don't know, but either way, if you go into the groups, the Facebook groups, the Beer Followers Anonymous, Montana Skywatchers, go up to the search button, or I think there's a file. I'm not sure. Is there a file? There's a bunch of stuff. If you go into the groups, you know, into Montana Skywatchers and the Beer Followers Anonymous, there's files and pictures. And Rebecca has done a lot of literature, a lot of comparisons, a lot of overlaps, great stuff. But there's so much to learn. Just go into the groups. I don't know if you're a member yet
Yeah.
of any of the groups, but that's where all that information.
It can be difficult to get in.
I was gonna say soon, because I am working on our new website, and very soon, it's gonna be all in one place. I'm gonna have links
Awesome.
that you can go from the website to Facebook, to TikTok, to YouTube, to Sam's page, to my page. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can direct. So it's really gonna be nice to have it all in one location, and it's
Awesome.
almost done. I mean, you know,
Jesus.
I'll always be working.
I'll be
on
right
it.
back.
Really good. Okay, Sam.
Okay.
It's looking
Yes.
really good. Uh-huh.
Sam's interviews are chock full of great information, guys. I hear them.
Yes.
I still hear
yeah,
them.
the older
you know.
podcast. Yeah.
Go back to his Radio Wasteland. They're actually broken down into small little segments. So if you don't have time to watch the entire interview, just watch the segments a few at a time. And it's great. It's great stuff, guys. It'll really help you learn a lot, you know, for all the new people out there.
Right. Yeah. You have to go to that, and you have to. There's two Radio Wasteland channels, just so you know, and this one has the black and white logo. But you click on their playlist, and it will drop down, and you click on, you know, Sam Hoffman Nibiru updates, and there's like a whole treasure trove of 80 some odd videos.
Yeah, doesn't it say 84 or something?
87.
Or maybe
Yeah.
87.
87.
80.
Okay.
87.
87.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a lot. So that's where.
Yeah, you remembered 87 for a reason.
I wonder if that's Matim. That looks almost like it could be Matim.
That rainbow.
Are we having a confusion?
Yeah, look, it's a round circle. Look at the size of it.
Yeah, it
Look
is
at the
round.
size of it. That could be Matim.
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
Wow, Alexander.
Wow. We knew it was on the left hand side of the sun, but I didn't know it moved there. But look at the size of it.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Okay, so how is
There
that
is no
size
asteroid that
compared
big on
to-
that side.
I was gonna say, how is that compared to the Tan asteroid in size? That right there.
It's a little bit bigger than the Tan asteroid, visibly currently. I'm not going to compare the two as part. One's a planet, one's either a moon or an asteroid. Matim is the tiniest of the whole group. Well, there's also a straight line in that edge. Look, that's the Texas Cube straight line right there. It's tipped on its thing, and then the red, and then the Texas Cube is in that mix as well. See that square, that shadowed square?
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Hang on.
Yeah, there, look.
See that line?
Wow.
See that
Yeah.
line? That straight line? The 45
there
right
it
there,
is.
and the 45 right there.
Oh, look, you can
Yeah.
just see it. Like,
Yep.
Got to remember, the dark shadow area is showing itself. It's
Wow.
also beside.
Wow.
Weird.
Dang. So that again looks just like this, but to the left of our sun. See that cube,
Ta-da.
that square,
Exactly.
and there it is.
Right.
It's just like, yeah, that's the perfect drawing for this video. Look at that. That's what's going on there. Wow. And you know what? I've
How does he
noticed
do that?
when those crafts are there, when they're present, I see the most like this, the colorful, most distorted. It gets real fuzzy looking where
It
those
gets
crafts
busy.
are.
It gets all busy. Like the sky's busy. Like there's
You can
motion.
tell there's something there because it looks different from anywhere else in the sky.
And what did I draw in on this month's site drawing as far as in front of the sun?
What was it? Oh, well, it was really pinched.
On the
I
bottom of
remember.
the sun, remember?
Let's go to
I
it.
drew in a whole bunch of little pointy things at the bottom of the sun. I didn't really over accentuate it, but I did. I've never done that before, where I put these little disturbances underneath the sun, and you can see it in the drawing.
Uh-huh.
And that is
What
the
is that?
stuff that's getting in the way of. Well, it's a combination of Uri asteroids. We know Matim is there. We know that the blue asteroid is there. We know that the Texas Cube, of course, and then the craft are also very proximity. But I don't include those in the monthly site drawing. If I did, it would be so full we couldn't label it all, and that's why I've never included where the placement of the cubes were, because they don't really change, and that's why I have a separate drawing for that. Then again, you're seeing the rainbow. This is the asteroid debris in space, and that's why it's refracting into rainbow color, because you don't normally get rainbow through clouds unless it's a stellar debris that is breaking the light into a space prism.
Yeah.
So any
So
time you're
what about
staring at a rainbow, and so they'll say, well, they're noctilucent clouds. By the way, noctilucent clouds only appear in Arctic regions. So if they're calling them
Right.
noctilucent clouds and they're in non-Arctic regions, they're lying.
Yeah.
And NASA has changed all the terminology toward the clouds. We've got how many new names since the arrival of the planets?
It was 2016 when they
Yeah.
released a list
Yeah.
of new cloud names, just all of a
Yeah.
sudden, and now they're considered
Yeah,
normal.
new that we never had before.
But they got a name
Yeah,
for
we
it.
swear
so
these are
that's
normal.
okay.
Oh, and Cetralius nocturnal and all of that. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But Nocturnus, there's a new cloud. Yeah, it's called a sea trail.
Yeah, time traveler knows.
Oh, a bunch of that. They trailed this morning over right in front of from the northwest to the east in front of me here this morning. They put out quite a spread right before the planets came in. Dun, dun,
I
dun,
was gonna
dun,
say,
dun,
yeah,
dun,
time
dun.
traveler is on it. He knows. I know. Like once you realize what's happening, it's like, and you hear somebody, like usually it's the weathermen, it's the weather guys. I feel like they use the weather guys to kind of like make this seem normal. They like normalize it heavily.
Right. Well, they do. They're licensed by the government. Yeah, look at that right there. That's the lead asteroid right there to the
Wow.
lower right.
I thought the lead asteroid's gone to the right, hasn't it?
So
Well,
across
remember,
the Golden River
remember,
Gate.
he's up in Europe, so his view is different. The angle. It's either red asteroid or lead asteroid underneath it, but it's round, so I'm more inclined to say lead asteroid because the red asteroid is not round. Red asteroid is teardrop shaped.
Alexander has a question about. He says, "See the ball right of the
Okay.
sun. There comes in." Oh wait. Well, he said it a minute ago. Whenever it was playing. Anyway, he sees something to the right of our sun.
I automatically thought it was lens flare, but it. Yeah. See, it's
Or
moving. That's
is it the dark? There is a
oh,
dark.
the ball, the actual.
shadow
Well, there's
area.
a cutoff going on. At the bottom, we see the hourglass shaped bottom because there's a cutoff of this cloud in front of it, so that's causing the
Yes.
flaring.
Wow.
Numerically,
the
the sun is in the upper part of this circle. It looks like a ghost, a Casper shape. But there's also a cutoff going in on the upper right corner. That's dark, and that is the faceplate of Saturn's yellow moon,
Wow.
which literally goes from the center of the pic to behind these straight line clouds all the way around to the right hand middle. That's where Saturn's yellow moon is.
And then he
Um,
says, "See the stripes
literally
behind that ball. See the stripes behind that ball. Do you see it?
Yeah,
on
there's
your
a lot
end?
going on. Well, Uri
There
would
really
be to the left. Uri's to the left, so there'll be stripes on the left. But there's a lot of asteroid debris going in across in front of us here in the dead center.
Jeez.
That's what these three straight
so-
lines are all about. Those are
Is that the
asteroids
lead
underneath
object?
Uri, and then you got. It's somewhere in there as well. Yeah, I think the lead object is just below the sun in a big, very large circle, just lower right of the sun. I
gotta
can't
go.
fully call it, but there's a lot going on up there, and we know that.
It's busy. There's
If I
things
saw more of it, it would be
right
easier to
into
call.
the
But,
sunlight.
Look, there's a big blue ball up on
and
the
it is
left.
belt shaping out. So
I know.
yeah, that would be.
And the giant one on the right. I mean, and
yeah.
the red thing just up there.
Well, there's a lot of objects in this. There's a lot,
That's
and
cool. Wow, look at that.
and that was a good close up.
And there's even another one over here.
Underling
Look at that little
asteroid.
gray bugger. Check at that. Oh, and the triangle kind
Yeah.
of line on its side
Perfect.
ships. And,
There's
Once
a
you
lot of
start
stuff
looking,
passing
once
very
you
close,
know
and we
that
are
the
in the
shape-
180-day cycle.
once you start seeing the shapes, you can't unsee them.
Nope.
Oh, look at the
And this is
fuzziness on
rainbowing.
that thing there.
Asteroid.
Look at that. That webby effect
You
it
got
has.
objects between us and the sun,
Oh.
and that's what I meant to do by the drawing, showing you the little
Look at that weird
pokies
texture.
and.
Gee, look at all the chunks over
Yep.
there on the right. Oh my word. There's just chunks.
You also have to
everywhere.
remember that
Oh,
there
look at
are
the blue.
space clouds.
Look at the blue there. Look at that blue guy on the left. Ah. Oh.
Well, that's where Matim is supposed to be in the just to the left, upper left of the sun currently. And she will be moving. She will be moving, and we may lose view soon, or we may see more of Matim. We don't know yet. But the sighting
Yeah,
of Matim
first
was
time,
confirmed
really.
for the last month or so. Well, I didn't know, not since 2015-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was before
I
started.
actually, frankly, cannot absolutely remember. Right, I can't remember exactly when it was that we lost track of Matim. But I for the longest time,
because-
kept forgetting to even draw it in on the draw-ins.
As I started, then you were talking about something called Matim, and I thought I had seen something blue go over at night, but I didn't know because I was too new back then if it was that, or even to mention it. But it had been at one evening. It was a small, incredibly brilliant blue ball, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
If I had
It's,
a camera
the
back then to
close-ups,
take
of course,
a
have Mount
picture.
Ranger from this cap.
So, would you say this is Atu's moon in front of Atu above the sun? Or Uri? Which
No,
be the-
those would be in
both.
this shot. They would be overhead. So we're looking at a Uri effect. Everything to the left could be Uri.
Yeah.
Because Atu and
It's
Atu's
something
moon
right
are
above the
currently
sun.
over the top of us or beyond us. They're beyond
Yeah.
us. So they're overhead or behind us in this shot. And so we're looking at the side of Uri and that main stripe right there. And then over here on the right-hand side, we're looking at the side of a Saturn's very large Saturn's yellow moon.
Let's get that drawing. Okay,
And
this would work
The
pretty
view
good.
is so predominant of what's going on over the top of us and what's going on now behind us. Because, like I said the other day, at 11 o'clock in the morning, as I was, the sun is still in the oddly southeast sky. It shouldn't be. It should be midway overhead, but it's not. But it's still in the southeast sky, and I'm looking west as I drive west, and I'm staring right at Nibiru. So Nibiru has gone beyond us and is spatially illuminated, but you can't really see it unless you take into account how massive it is. And once you
So-
figure that out and actually see Nibiru,
All
yeah,
right,
these,
Time Traveler
this
has a
looks like the
question. He wants to
undersheet.
know: are they hiding the planets so people don't panic? Like, why are they hiding the planets? Why are they trying to disguise?
Well,
what's happening?
they don't really have to. They do break up the eye with some of the sea trails. That has a dual purpose. It also blocks the incoming light so we don't fry. And you may look at non-G7 countries who do not do sea trails and notice that their agriculture is worse off than ours is. So it's a two-sided thing. I'm very tempted to say this is the effect of Nepenthe and Attu over the top of us, which is why we're seeing this odd cloud pattern. But that also could be a 180-day cycle Uri drag in of oncoming asteroids. So it's a hard call. I'd have to actually stare at this for a while myself rather than using his filming, but by eye. But yeah, there's a lot there, and there right down below is the blue asteroid. See the dot, dead center just below. Just below the sun, dead center is the blue asteroid.
But I do want to go back
There
to
again,
a
you can
time
see the
traveler
blue.
is asking. All this is not being admitted to by our government, and never will be. If they
Probably
ever
not,
comes to
no.
a point, they're gonna act like they didn't know either, or some stupid shit like that. But yeah, there's a number of
Unless we
reasons.
see them out, unbelievably.
Panic is
You know,
definitely gonna be
when they
one of
start
them.
going away, we might actually see them. You know, they'll be wrapped in clouds too, but they each have their own atmospheres. But we might actually see, the red planet is Saturn and Saturn's yellow moon facially as they leave. When she goes beyond us into the light, and we are seeing the very close bubble pass over the top of us of the Saturn's yellow moon currently, and I've got some pictures that I sent to Rebecca with that today. It's very much like Attu's moon, but completely noticeably different at the same time. How bubbly it is, and because it is more flame-like clouds than Attu. Attu was more like hanging fruit.
Totally got distracted.
It's Saturn yellow moon close past. It's very, very turbulent. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna play this video, and while I play this video, it's the current events. I'll get all your pictures that you sent me finished.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Esther, yes, political war, sports, celebrities, they all just make me sick, all of them. I don't know why people, celebrity and sports worship and all that is a disease that people don't know they have. I find it disgusting. I bet you see it a lot, Christopher.
Yeah.
I bet Vegas is a perfect place to see that what celebrity worship looks like.
Right.
It's ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't get it. I gave a ride to this mother and her daughter. She must have been like 10 years old, the daughter, and I was taking them to a concert that the little girl wanted to go see. As soon as we got close to the venue, she starts crying and getting all hysterical, and I'm like, God, I just there's something that really felt so wrong about that. I'm like, from such a young age to start learning that behavior, there's just something so wrong with society it just seems so normal, and to me it was just so awful to see that. You know, if that had been my daughter, I'd be heartbroken that she would feel this way about somebody who, like, I'm not saying, I love music as much as anybody else does,
Right.
but I mean, the worship is just unbelievable. I don't get it, and it takes so much attention from other things that are more important. Yeah, I hate it. I really hate it. I can't stand celebrity worship or sports worship or any of that. I can't stand it. It makes me sick. All of it.
Oh, I just suddenly realized you were saying worship. I kept hearing worship.
Oh, worship.
Well, I am Mexican, so maybe there's that. Maybe it's my.
No, I don't know why. It's like I've been hearing words meaning two things all day long.
No,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
so
no.
annoying.
What I mean is worshiping,
Worshipping false idols, I understand.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. I was thinking
So,
of a different word for that word, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's how they. I mean, look at Rome. Look at what Rome would do when people would ask questions. They would entertain the crowds, and that's what we're seeing.
Yep.
Just entertainment and keep everybody busy.
No, I sent
and
this to you a couple of days ago.
I saw this, and the fact that it was in Albuquerque is, I gotta say, New Mexico. I saw some pretty crazy stuff in New Mexico while I was up there. Pretty crazy stuff.
what is that? You see, I saw like a post about these things dropping down, but they were red in Japan. What are they?
That's crazy.
Whoa.
You
That's
see how
new.
how it gets distorted when the camera gets out of focus, and it distorts the view. That makes me think that this is authentic. Wow.
Yeah, we're so
Yeah, I saw
paranoid
that
about
from,
CGI and feeding fake stuff, you know? So,
And thank you to the people that I sort of snibbed it off of an Alien Skies site. And I don't know if they listen to my material or not, but I hope they do. Thank you for it. I forget, who exactly. I posted this to you, Rebecca, about 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, you did. Well, I've been out
I
of.
saw it. And I thought it was authentic. So that's why I
Right.
posted it.
I
And
didn't see it.
I don't do a lot of usual crap unless, of course, it is the Texas Cube or the long box or the big triangles. And this could actually be a Star Destroyer as well, just dropping down. But first, take it into account. You got to think. You got to think 3D, not just you don't just fly it like a spacecraft. They could actually land it, and these things are massive, and who knows how far away that thing is.
Right.
And it could be sort of illuminating like St. Elmo's Spire, etc.
Hey,
Actually, that's
Sam.
pretty small if that's going into the wow.
That's
not
true.
that
I
big.
would have probably lost that one myself too. I would have no idea celebrity baby names. That's
Being filmed above the car and not through glass. Okay, they're not filming through glass, so that's a good thing because the cars are in
Oh.
front.
All right, it stopped. Okay.
There is probably a
But also,
planet over the top of.
Yeah, that's
Did
what I
you,
was
did you see
thinking.
how it distorted? How when the camera went out of focus, it distorted it. If it wasn't really there, if it was if it was CGI, it wouldn't have done that. It would have been a little bit. It would have been separate from what the
Right.
camera caught. Because it would have
Two
been
different
added out.
productions.
So the fact that
Right, two
exactly,
different
so the
productions.
fact that it distorted as well tells me that it is authentic.
I was gonna say these pictures Sam sent me are so good. Like, I wonder, are they all current or some current? Some.
Yeah, I think they're all within the last 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh! Wait till y'all see them. They're really, really cool.
Cool.
Really good.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is part of that crazy, insane show
Wow.
that's going on right
It's
now.
good.
It's just absolutely unbelievable.
Okay, so while
And
we-
I'm sure I'll remember them and I'll describe them as we go.
I had a
Yes, you
video-
too could have this once in a lifetime offer. Hey, don't forget mail before midnight tonight. Sorry,
Keep turning that down.
going up into
Um,
silly land.
Let's see. No, Jillian sent me a
Only
video
an hour and a half into the
from
show, and I'm already
Audrey.
at silly.
So let's get that video here from Audrey. I think this was earlier today.
Yeah, she wanted
Oh,
to
so
know
that
what
was
it
just a
was.
teaser then.
Sam.
Okay, perfect. Here we go.
Okay, no problem.
She asked me to ask you. Yeah, so I sent
Okay,
it. There we
South
go.
Africa.
Hey, can you put the email
Thank you,
for
Audrey.
pictures of pictures for Darren Morrison? He wants to know where he
Okay.
can submit pictures.
Let me get it here. Skypics4sam@gmail.com.
Darren Morrison, feel free to submit any pictures and videos to the Gmail, and then we will show them on probably not this show because it takes a while for Rebecca to get
Yeah,
set up. And
I
all
got a little
that.
behind on that.
But next show she.
Yeah.
I would have to say this is Atu directly overhead. This is
I've been
Atu
seeing
directly
some of this
overhead.
as well. I've been seeing a lot of popcorn, little
Yeah.
popcorn clouds like this.
No,
It's just
we
like
have
this.
to take into account South Africa too. So their view, their sky filling view, would literally be what we see straight over our heads.
Okay.
And yet their sky, because she's from the southern hemisphere, it's probably oddly, it's most likely Atu and Yuri filling her entire sky down there, because this is what the bottom looks like. And look at the intense blue behind the clouds.
Yeah.
Now, I saw this the other day as well in our skies briefly, and it was very, very much under Atu and under Yuri. Atu and Yuri's bases look very similar because they're both gas giants. Believe it or not, we got a gas giant walking right past us, regularly. And that's part of the danger of the 180-day cycle, is because all those asteroids and moons and debris and all micro stuff and all, the shit we see. And they don't orbit in Earth's orbit. They're in their orbit, in their rotation. They come in and they spin and spiral and go past us. And when their asteroids are close, they discharge and cause freak storms and all sorts of stuff, because the passes are really, really unbelievably close. And I keep thinking, how big are those big purple lightning bolts, and how many thousands of miles long are they, and what do they really look like at impact point? And hopefully I'll never see one of those up close. And it's really hard to fathom, but yet, guys, this is what's going on. It is real. It's the coolest damn show you've ever seen. And I can remember back in 2018, 1920, when Atu's moon was so unbelievably huge over the top of us, and it was filling the sky with these awesome bubbles that were illuminated inside. And you just couldn't believe what you were staring at, and yet that was a damn moon, and it was so close you could almost reach out and touch it, which is why our freak Earth weather is going off crazy, especially in the northern hemisphere, and even the equator in some cases. I saw weather this week going from the equator, literally diving down to the southern Arctic jet stream, and I thought that was really weird. Yeah, this is happening everywhere, everybody. Around the world. Switzerland got it. Germany got it last week. Moscow got it this week. China got it last week. And that's just the reports that I saw. North Dakota.
There's been some flooding here in Utah as well. Not in my area, but Moab got it pretty bad, which is about maybe 3-4 hours away from you. Pretty bad.
And we're starting with the fires too.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta mention, my thoughts go out to the, Ruidoso, New Mexico. Their fires they got a really bad fire going on up there. I haven't checked if it's contained yet, but it was really bad. It's probably still going, but it was really bad.
Look at that crazy water.
It's such a beautiful place, Ruidoso. I've been there many times. It's such a beautiful town. To be devastated the way it is, with these fires. So,
with the desert regrowth is the good thing.
be very aware, guys. What you're doing. A lot of these fires are, because of the dry conditions in some areas, are started
And the wind.
accidentally. And the wind, yes. So let's try to be more conscious about what we're doing. For camping, we're grilling anything. I know it's grilling seasons, but please be mindful of everything you do because we have really bad weather conditions right now that can get things started in a second. So, yeah, just be a little mindful.
Oh God.
Yeah, this is what it looked like in Moscow this week as well.
Got a hurricane,
And that's landlocked. There's no.
Right.
That's the craziest.
Yeah, they had
thing
hurricane
I've
force rotational storm.
Craziest thing you'll ever hear.
Oh, and I by the way, many thousands of people in the Hajj this year have died from heat exhaustion. They had way more deaths this year than they did last year from direct heat
I want to
exhaustion. Of course,
recommend
we've already forgotten the heat dome.
electrolytes, guys. Keep these. I was at the lake last week, and we all felt like crap. We had a headache. These things are very helpful. They really rehydrate you, and they're not expensive. It's like $2, $2.50 for one, and they rehydrate you right away. So keep some on hand. Because you
Oh,
never
God,
know.
that's-
You won't feel you're dehydrated until you
Pedialyte.
start feeling like crap.
And the sun, it's boiling at us out of the sun is hotter than it ever has been, and in our lifetime. And hopefully the reason why. Because we have a binary thing going on here. 2 suns, extra sunlight. Why the plants are wintering over and everything's growing in weird ways, and why a lot of shit is burning and frying and dying. Even the forests, they're talking about the worldwide climatary forest change. The entire forests around the planets are changing, and this too is part of the cycle of the passing of the planets. And we're you wouldn't believe all the shit that's going to be done by all of this, and we're watching examples of it right now, and we're only halfway. So if this is doing this now, and we're only halfway.
What I was noticing too, Sam, is that the sun, and we all know that the sun isn't rising or setting where it's supposed to. But yesterday, it just dawned on me because I was up pretty early, and I saw the moon and the sun. Okay, so the moon and the sun were basically popping up in the same place as these planets, northwest. I'm sorry, keep northeast and southwest, same thing. So it's like we're definitely tilted, but they're basically orbiting in the same direction as these planets are moving across. So we are getting buffered around for sure. But
everything's wrong. I mean, even the Milky Way is in the wrong place and has been for a decade. And we did. I even noticed when the Big Dipper changed when we got into summer solstice. The Big Dipper drastically changed placement from it was literally vertical, where it was dumping out, and then within like a week, all of a sudden it's flat. It's horizontally planed, like it's holding its water inside the Big Dipper. And so that happened all of the solstice change, and weird, crazy shit's been going on ever since. So the pathway changes looks different, and even the close passes are different and more turbulent and more awesome and more cool. And then like we talked about earlier, this weird clear blue sky, nothing there, and bang, there they are. So a lot's changed, and it's really, really cool. But look at the weather around the world, everybody. Tell me this was normal once a year anywhere in any given country, but this is happening every day, everywhere around the world right now.
And it's
go ahead, argue with climate change.
And it's seriously going underreported. It's being underreported purposely, guys. Again, this is information that's out there, but if you don't stick it out, you won't know about it. There's a lot of people that recently had a conversation with somebody about a lot of what's happening in the world, and they seem completely oblivious about it. Completely oblivious about it. Andrea, I agree. That's very good advice. A little bit of salt before you drink water helps they get into the cell. Absolutely. I think that's advice I heard from what's
Right.
her
If
name?
you want to make saline out of it,
What's
you
that?
can make your own Pedialyte pretty much, or whatever. Minerals you could add. You can add a pinch of salt and a pinch of sugar, and you have instant saline, and it will actually hydrate you better.
Really? Salt
Just a
and
small
sugar?
amount where you just a pinch in the bottom of like a gallon of water, and that creates literally saline, and your body will envelop it easier that way than if you were just to drink plain tap water. You incorporate it into your body faster, and we used to do that.
I mean, right now, most
Yeah,
of
it
the
goes into
water
your
that we're
body
getting
faster.
is basically dead water. There's
Oh,
no minerals
crap.
in it. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
You have to
Right.
add it. You're
Right.
just gonna pee it out basically, and not retain any of what it's supposed
Right.
to do. Because everything has been
You also got
everything has been basically
and where it comes from.
stripped of everything. You know. Sea salt, yes. Celtic sea salt is some of the best stuff. People like pink Himalayan, but I hear Celtic is actually better.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
Celtic salt. Yes. And borax. Have you researched
Yeah.
the benefits of borax?
Yeah.
To put a pinch of borax in your water?
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of information about that. I actually have some in my kitchen. There's a lot of good benefits to that. Borax.
Oh, I'm glad that is not happening here. Everybody has to expect this everywhere around it because we are seeing freak storms everywhere. And we had this here in Montana. I think 2018 and 19 we had this happen a couple of times, and it partially ripped up my roof. And we had to have a fundraiser for that, and I spent like $900 to fix it, and I'm still fixing it. And I'll be up on the roof here in the next month doing it again. So this is coming to a theater near you.
Very.
And we've already forgotten the tornadoes, and we've already forgotten the heat dome.
Right.
You guys are, of course, still suffering the heat dome. But, yeah, look at that. Normal. Mm-hmm. Yeehaw. That's about an EF2.
Oh my God, there's debris.
In the
And
house.
somebody just lost their home.
It's up by the Fauci
Ugh.
house.
And this is a small one.
God, I've been seeing some that are just.
Debris everywhere.
It's almost like they're not even real. It's just crazy.
Well, the miles wide ones are the close passes, and they're calling it a supercell, but it's not. When you can see green inside of it, and you can see an open core, and then you look to the left, and usually the tornadoes form off the bottom of a close pass of necessity, and then they let go and then form all kinds of different eddies behind them and cause that bow wake. And then that's what they're calling a derecho now in the north east area, literally from Iowa all the way to the Pacific, or excuse me, the Atlantic coast. And of course, I picked the wrong one. They're describing it as a derecho. A derecho is a sandstorm in the southwest only, and none of these derechos they're calling are sandstorms. So they're completely lulled people into a falsehood. And these freak storms, I mean, when anything above 74 miles an hour, and you have Category 1 hurricane. And this is on land.
Jeez.
We've been talking about that for 2 years now. And on land hurricane strength on land, rotational, cut off lows. It's an on land hurricane, and they've been in the northern hemisphere for over a year now, and they never ever used to exist. So anytime that you're planning on seeing a hurricane come in, like what the tropical storm that hit Mexico last week and parts of southern Texas, southwestern Texas, they all got flooded out. They got record amounts of rain. And that happened to Hawaii. It is happening everywhere. And even Switzerland had these record amounts of rain in a matter of hours just last week. And they had mountain flooding everywhere and high winds and all of this crap. And the property damage alone is insane. And, there are a few lives lost, but this is happening every week instead of once a month or once every 6 months. It's some remote location on the other side of the planet, but this is happening everywhere, and you have to go and find it. Yeah, this is probably the Mexico floods last week, because that tropical storm slammed into Mexico. They haven't had any rain forever, and then they get way more than they need.
And I'm, happy to say that the Salt Lake Valley is officially out of the drought zone. So that's, I didn't think that that'd be able to happen this fast. So we got a lot of
in 1
rain.
year, 2 years.
A lot of rain during mostly the winter was mostly rain than it was snow, at least down here in the valley. So it's really nice. I mean, that's one good thing out of all this disaster that's happening, but yeah, that's good news for us anyway.
Well, you're getting direct moisture from the Pacific Ocean currently in the jet stream directly off of the coast of California to the LA region, and then it's coming directly over the top of the lake. So you are getting the brunt of the moisture in the majority of the central, western to east coast American jet stream,
Well, that would
which is
explain.
unified for the summer jet. Yeah, that's a good thing. Usually, well, it used to go above you, which is why you've been in desertification more for the last decade. And then so the drought line has changed because the jet stream has changed, because Earth tip has changed. So we're like I always say, we're not in Kansas anymore.
I was just gonna ask, because that would have to do because of the Earth tip, why we're getting we're getting different different weather.
We talked about that the other day again. The troposphere or the upper atmosphere of our weather pattern, as I knew it in my growing years going up on planet Earth, the direction in the northern hemisphere used to always go the opposite of what was going on in that southern hemisphere. And currently both weather systems on the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere are going the same direction. And I never saw that any time in my life growing up. So I believe that has a great deal to do with our tip ratio. I think because our axis is strongly changed, I think both weather patterns started heading the same way. I can't fully prove it, but that's my summation.
So yeah, I was trying to explain that to somebody recently, how our jet stream is changing and how they're both rotational things are going in the same direction. And they completely
well, the jet stream used to be straighter.
That is a problem, is that we're not
a lasagna noodle.
Well, there's so much information out there, and most people would rather watch some stupid celebrity something instead of learning something. Simple basic stuff as a CME, I also explained to why we saw the Aurora Borealis recently, and I swear this person, I might as well have been talking in Chinese. It was just, it's important that we start educating ourselves on these things, because it matters. We need to be educated, and it's not beyond anybody to learn this stuff. Anybody can learn it. It's simple stuff. Don't let them make you think it's complicated and it's something anybody can learn, guys. Anybody can learn this stuff. Just try,
No.
put in the time. Oh God,
No.
there goes somebody's house.
Oh, goodbye, one house. There's two.
Hmm.
Every time you see a puff of new debris, that's another house. And it's stalled, it's hopping, and it quit. Now to reform and hop to the next one. That's an example where it'll skip some houses and then reform, then grab somebody else's house and then turn. I saw one up close one time, and they'll actually change direction once they hit a ditch, and then they'll run along the road, and then after a while they'll cross the road and then jump around in the ditch on the other side and then go into the field and change directions altogether. I mean, they do weird things, and it has to do with what is grabbing, what's pulling, what's pushing. Yeah, that was a quick formation. About 4 or 5 houses got destroyed, and then it quit. Oh, thank the Lord. Anyway, bless their little hearts.
Could have been much worse.
They'll reform about a mile away. Watch.
Holy! Holy! God, there's a fucking tornado! Holy!
I hope Carolina's okay. I told her to keep us updated. Hopefully, they'll
She
let us
said
know.
it's passed by. She did say in the comments that she's back again and that it's passed by.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't even see that.
I just got another thing on my Facebook. It says a girl of 13 dies after being struck by lightning on a Greece beach.
Oh,
Yeah.
Swimming during a thunderstorm in the heat. Must be
Not
hot in
right.
Greece.
Yeah, they're real. Europe is having and the Mediterranean is also in a heat wave. India, they're having the same heat dome we are, but that doesn't make the national news.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I watch the India news and the NHK, and I do go to different news services all the time to look my own information up, and I looked up the weather patterns that are going to come to the East Coast and everything, and like I said earlier in the show, if you're in Missouri this evening, be prepared for a very large storm development at anywhere running after 9 o'clock your time.
My weather
And
guy
Rebecca, your area will develop. Well, you're going to have some storms develop, but nothing like what's going to hit Missouri tonight.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Severe
Yeah, it's
storms
gonna be- it's
possible
gonna be big.
tonight after 8 p.m. So, for me.
What's your time now?
It is 6 p.m. So, in 2 hours. I wonder what the sky looks like. I should go look at it.
It's 1 minute to 12.
Yeah, it could be you'll probably see a whole bunch of cumulonimbus coming your way and developing
Yeah.
as the heat
Right.
rises from the
Okay.
day.
I have another video. Oh, wait.
Go ahead, look
I
and
have
do what you got to
pictures
do.
that Sam sent me. Either I can go look at it now or I can wait. You can look at your pictures. the
Just
ones-
play that video because it's long,
Okay.
and then go look.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Actually,
This is intense.
one
This
of
is
the
really
videos you
intense.
sent me.
Right,
If it's the one that we're talking about. Hang on.
the bubbly
is it
bottom
the one
cloud.
that you sent me from Jason McKay? Jason McKay.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I
Oh.
believe so.
Okay. I don't
I
think it's good.
Think you're correct? Yes.
It's not done sending. It's well, actually it says it is. It says it's uploaded.
Oh, of course.
I'll find it. Oh, here it is. I think. Yeah. It's here.
Jeopardy theme song.
1 second. I'm
Yay,
gonna
Christopher
take-
looked up. He's busy looking things up. Our little worker's working. Look at this, you guys. Our hardcore experts
can't-
looking up new documentation.
Everybody's all down looking at their stuff.
Yeah, I can't. I
Yep.
can't like type on YouTube on the phone that I'm using for the show. I have to use 2 phones to type
Yeah,
in the chat.
right.
So
Right.
I'll have to.
I know.
I finally figured it
I
out.
have like a phone graveyard.
Yeah,
I
I
have all my
can believe
phones
you.
for everything.
I always knew I got the tablet for something.
You do need multiple devices.
I tried to join the chat, and when we first started doing this, and it wouldn't recognize my email address, so I'm flagged.
Look at that thing.
You know, the machine tells me, yeah, look at that. Yeah, look
Whoa.
at that.
Oh,
You
my
see what
word.
that is? Does anybody know what that is? Look where it is.
Just staring at it and all, it's like, oh, wow. I don't know. I thought it was on the left, but it's all over.
It's on the right of the sun.
Why is that on the right of the
See those
sun?
clouds? Yeah, the sun's over to the left of us.
Yeah, I see that now.
See?
There you
There's the sun.
Yeah.
You see what side that is?
Uh-huh.
That's a close pass of a Saturn's yellow moon,
Yeah.
and a Saturn is above it.
Wow.
Look how huge and close the Saturn's yellow moon is in
Wow.
this shot. I saw that today, and I just went, "Oh my God! Look how close and how huge the Saturn's yellow moon is there, because it's on the right-hand side of the sun." That is freaking massive. And I'm sure we're going to see events from it, you know, electrical discharging. God only knows, you know. Big yellow illuminations in the sky. Oh, and I've seen that too. In the north sky after sunset, you can see this odd, towards sunset as well, you can see this odd illumination due north. And that's the Saturn's yellow moon. And you can't argue with it. Time after time, I'm just sitting there smiling, and I get to, you know, watch all this crap by eye, and I want to run across the street and tap my neighbor on the door and go, "Hey, look at this!" But you know, I mean, who do you tell? They already think I'm crazy as it is. Yeah, that right there, that's the Saturn's yellow moon right there.
Wow.
And look at that, but it's not at you like. Notice how it's more fire-like clouds.
See, I would
Notice how
have
they're a little more volatile than at you.
I would have mistaken this for Atu's moon had you not said that, Sam.
See how drag-offy volatile the clouds are? Atu's moon
Yeah.
is
I
more
see-
like fruit hanging like little melons.
Yeah, I see that now.
There's the
but
black
I
lake.
would have totally taken it for Atu's moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So much
Atu's
about-
moon is either center above us or on the left-hand side
Yeah,
or beyond
that's
Earth.
right.
And this is right
That's where I
beside.
would have gotten confused. See, stuff like that would have really thrown me off, and it would have sent me into a whole confusing thing. And yeah, it's you know, we've never seen a Saturn's moon this freaking close.
This close.
So
Never,
there's
never.
so much
This
we're
is
still
insane.
learning about it.
And it's so damn exciting. It's just wow, oh my God, you know. And I saw this today, and I immediately, this was the first video I shared with Rebecca first thing this morning, because I found this and I went, oh my God, look at that, Jesus! It's never been that big. It's, you know, and it changes really fast. And look where it is. It's on the right hand. That is Saturn's yellow moon right there in front of its Saturn. Look at that. And you know, there's nothing else on the right hand side of the sun. That's probably distant normal clouds. Copy the cumulus nimbus at the horizon. Pretty, but normal. Come on, pan back out. Pan back out.
Wow.
Okay. yeah, it's hyper exciting what's going on. And then I know as they get higher and they get smaller, again, we're gonna get easier captures because it'll be easier for your brain to gather on. Go look, I can see the full circle. Look, it's like a big beach ball in front of me if I was at arm's reach rather than a football stadium. And as they get smaller, we'll start seeing the facial colors and stuff and the stripes and planets and the asteroids and as they go by. And of course, we've got all the way until October-ish, maybe December, watching what this year will bring. And this is part of the information that we try to share with everybody because we have documented each one of these close passing cycles for many, many years now. And it's absolutely proven, time-proven information. None of what we talk about has been manifested other than through the documentation of thousands of members from around the world. And we are the experts in the clearinghouse. Oh, look, I love this. I love this picture.
Yes. These are the pics that Sam sent me before the show. So these are hand-picked by Sam. Okay.
This is a bottom illuminated passing planet. I'll just leave it at that. I won't even tell you. I think there's more. I think there's like 2 of them in this shot, if not 2 in a moon.
Yeah.
I would generically say Attu's moon and Uri. But I can't, I didn't take the picture, but this is the bottom of a close passing or several close passing planets at post sunset or pre-dawn. Thank you, Jesus, for correcting me earlier. So we can't fully say exactly which it is, but it's in a non-direct illuminated pre-horizontal position or post.
But this is what we're seeing, and people are calling it twilight. We're seeing illuminations well before sunrise, and
noctilucent.
Well after
noctilucent.
We had the other
Or
day.
they're calling it noctilucent.
Yeah, exactly. We've had 10:30 p.m. the other day where we have this the sky illuminated well till 10:30, 10:45 at night. And somebody said, "Oh, because it's almost at the summer solstice, so it's the longest day of the year." Come on, man! 10:30, almost 11 p.m. Come on, I've never seen that.
Again here.
I don't care. It's the longest
And
day.
it never got dark for us. Like for days, some days that wasn't dark at all. It was light.
Yeah. But we're
3
seeing
planets.
these illuminations well before sunrise. Well before sunrise. Well
the real
before
sky.
the sun comes up, we're already seeing it's already daylight almost outside because of all this light refraction from these planets.
The real sky is the yellow area. Everything above the yellow area is a number of there's like 3 different planets in this shot. They're directly over the top of us as if you could reach out and touch them. And 99 or 95 or 90% of the planet doesn't know. And it's amazing. And anyone can see these. You just have to. The thing is, they're so damn big, it's really hard to get your mind on. And unfortunately, the new folks have stepped into it at a stage where they're so much bigger than when we first saw them and when we first started documenting them, which is how I can draw them now. And if you go back through our information, going all the way back to 2010 or 15 or 18, the comparatives are absolute. And we have documented all of this. And so the trick is just jump on board with the information and start to learn. And of course, always try to cross-reference the monthly site drawing. This one, I believe, came from Afan.
Yeah.
Now let's see. The upper left corner is where the sun is. So we are looking at the Saturn yellow moon in front of a Saturn, doing that little straight line there. I don't know what the deal with that is. But that is the Saturn's yellow moon and the Saturn on the right-hand side. Again, matching what we just saw in that real freaky cloud pattern. But Afan is in the Maldives, and so their view is a little different. And I sent Rebecca quite a few of them in comparison. and then a couple others of other middle and then left shots.
Yeah.
I tried to get everything in there, but I sent a bunch of stuff. Yeah, this is from a pond.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love it. Wow, it's awesome. It really is.
There again, here's a nighttime illumination. This also is the Saturn yellow moon in front of his Saturn at night. 11:04 p.m.
The difference in color of blues, you know, that stands out to me just so quickly.
And
How light the blue is versus just, you know,
Yep.
right above it.
And thank you,
immediately
Nicole.
turns dark blue. So,
And remember, if you think you see stars, they're not always stars. Oh, okay, this one came from Maria in Alaska today, I believe it was. This is the lead asteroid in front of is Saturn.
Oh, great stuff there, Maria. That's a great shot. Good eye. You're developing an eye for these little.
It has moved to the right of the sun in front of his Saturn now, and it's reaching in the upper reach in the upper right hand corner to middle is actually a Saturn's yellow moon behind it. Excuse
okay.
me, dry
so you
throat.
said this,
Might be cough drop
what did
time.
you say this was?
Lead asteroid.
This was? Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Isn't that good?
And if if we resort to the monthly site drawing,
Okay.
we know that lead asteroid has moved to the right and as drawn in the monthly site drawing.
Uh-huh. 1 second.
Yeah, you do as you wish.
Yeah, I gotta get scanned back to the beginning. Okay, here you go.
Okay, the lead asteroid
yeah,
was like a month ago. A month ago, the lead asteroid was drawn in where the blue asteroid is in this drawing in the center, just on the right-hand side of the sun. But now we have noticed over the last few weeks that the lead asteroid, there you go, lead asteroid has moved farther in front of his Saturn's yellow moon. So this week we got a whole bunch of new sightings, which match this exactly, which is blows.
Yeah.
Here's
Wow.
another example of it.
That one.
That one. I love this one.
Right?
Not much.
Nothing else
It's
but
so
the lead
perfect, 'cause it
asteroid.
has
That's
those-
cool.
Yeah, it shows those stripes of the lead object. Just perfect. Let's look at another
Thank
Yeah,
you,
one.
those-
Michelle in Ohio.
See those stripes.
Those stripes are definitely indicative
Yeah,
of.
that's the picture.
Yeah.
Let's find another one. See, more stripes. So that, yeah, there we go. Look at that. There it is in real life.
That is crazy. That is
Oh
a
my
great
God,
picture.
I know.
That is a great
And
picture.
then Audrey got it too.
That is a.
Didn't you say it was Audrey? Whose picture is this, Sam? I'm sorry.
Maria, right? That was
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
I
this is
meant.
Maria's,
Okay.
Alaska. Yeah, she sent me those
Yeah,
this morning.
The pine trees
Really
there
good.
kind of tell me it's Alaska as well.
That's it. There's another one. Oh wow.
Yep.
That is
See,
awesome.
see how dark it is
This-
behind the eyes. See how black and
This
dark.
is the long box cube. See the long box cube? See the straight lines?
Nice.
Yeah.
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 Long box cube in front of a Saturn's yellow moon in front of a Saturn.
Wow.
Also,
And the
looks
sun is to the
like
upper
that, too.
left.
that angle. But the long box cube does the same thing. It has that tilt, that angle. That's fun. Well, here it is.
Yeah.
There. So,
It's a long
yeah,
time for
those
the picture to scroll. I
lines.
still can't see anything right now.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Okay, I'll keep it there for a second.
Okay, oh yeah, there, that one, yeah. And the straight
Mhm.
line.
Yes, but at the angle, you know. So yeah, that's perfect. Wow.
And you look, does it fall into the criteria? And then if you look to the lower front of it, there sits the side orb in front of the big, huge long box cube, and then the stripes. And we see the bubbly of the upper middle part of the picture, and that is the face of the Saturn's yellow moon. And then behind it, the white illuminated area and the bottom illuminated area are the side of planet Saturn, behind the
Wow.
Saturn's yellow moon. In directional pattern, because we know it's right at the the sun, because if you see the face of the building, it is coming off from the upper left. Repeated pattern over and over and over
I
again.
was
I just love seeing the long box cube.
I was gonna say these patterns repeat themselves over and over again, and you know, when you see things repeat themselves all around the world, you have to just really start questioning what you're really looking at, guys.
Definitely.
How are yours guys been, Christopher? Like, it's been a hell of a show down here. What have you had much going on?
It's just been clear skies.
Hold it here.
You know, I've had like 2 days this week. I had one really good morning, and then like one afternoon, and that was about it. It's just clear skies
Been
every
hot
day.
but it has been hot as hell, though.
Oh my god! But we we looked at the temperature. It was 108 when the show started. I don't know what it is now.
You know, I always hated winter. And then when I moved to Vegas for those 8 months, I came back and I was like, I like this. I think I like this better. You know, now I love it. I got rid of my sedan, got an all-wheel drive car, and got comfortable driving in the snow. And I will never look back to those kind of summers again. Horrible.
Yeah, I'm getting worried. It's like,
and
it's nasty.
You might have to start building underground, man.
I know, right?
Because even here, like in midday,
this is an enlargement of the lead asteroid. The lead asteroid is on the middle right, and you see the side face
looks like a pound out
of the Saturn
picture. That's a panned out picture of. This is Maria's, right?
Right.
I'd imagine.
Yep, correct.
This is
correct.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because I see it there on the right.
And we see it way far on the right-hand side in the middle of the Saturn. And the Saturn's yellow moon is higher out of this shot. But it's all moving, and it's all gone farther over into, this would be, if the sun is slightly behind us to the left, our left side, then this is literally looking the opposite direction of the sun almost. So this is probably looking in the southern sky if it's in the middle of the early part of the day. So it shows you that Saturn and Saturn's yellow moon, even the lead asteroid and Nibiru have all moved into the morning to afternoon out view westward, if not southwest or northwest, to include all of that. So you can, now that they're being facially illuminated, you can see, and that drop face, that cloud in the middle left, at the face, that's the face of his Saturn, and that's the sun shining on that planet, and it's dropping those clouds. And you can see the side face of that damn planet standing right there. And you just got to grasp on the reality of what you're looking at, where the sun is, what time of day it is. And they're huge. They're sky pillars. They're so big.
Because they follow the shape of the planets. So if you follow the lines, you can see the shapes of the planets just by watching the lines. Because you can see how they're always going like that. There's always
the illuminated side, and like we were saying in the early part of the show, when I looked in Walmart parking lot, you could see the whole rounded bottom when the clouds reaching up in this rounded pattern, and you couldn't argue with it at all, and yet everybody's just walking by not seeing it all. This, look at this. This one came in. I
love this one.
Honestly, that looks like the sky is boiling. That looks like the sky's boiling, and like a giant rock is right there. Well, two giant rocks.
That is the size of a Saturn's yellow moon.
So that whole thing is the moon.
Yeah, and then there's a spiral with a line. But it's huge right now. It's very, very large and getting bigger as it comes in. It starts out very large and then gets even bigger, like we saw in that movie that Rebecca started out with, that bubbly mass. No, I'm not sure where it came from.
That's where
this one.
That's where they're starting. The southwest and again northeast.
And you can see the perfect round, and there's arguing with that that's an object that's that big and it's round. And you can see the ion tail going to the upper right off the face of this thing. And I think that's what that line in the middle is about, is the ion tail bursting out of the event horizon of Saturn's yellow moon. There again, the next one comes from Tony.
Good night, Esther. You
And there again,
I don't know if it's night there, but you say you have to go. So
Yeah. Good night,
thank you
Esther.
for hanging out. You
and
know,
here again, you have lead asteroid.
See you
Lead
next time.
asteroid is in the upper middle, and then its Saturn's yellow moon is in the right behind lead asteroid, in front of the face of its Saturn, and that's the purple and the pink. And you can see the ion tail going up into the upper right corner, over and over and over again. But the lead asteroid is the yellow object somewhere in this. It's either up in the upper middle or the orange at the bottom, but I can't fully say which is which. The red asteroid could be in there as well. It just depends. I'd have to. He did actually put out a video, but I only sent you the capture. I did not watch all of it.
It reminds me of this one again. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my favorite.
And there's that
This is my
black.
favorite drawing
Me too.
Yeah,
of the Saturn and its yellow moon of yours, Sam. I love this drawing. It just seems like I
And
don't
those
know,
straight
it's
lines at the bottom.
those flame like those. I don't know. It's just It's almost like I could just feel like that static cling that Saturn's that the yellow moon has on his Saturn. It's so
And
cool.
yeah, and those are that's the only planet that has anything like it. Maria
That is so
says that
cool.
this is southwest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
this-
where they've
yeah,
been
this is
showing-
about, I
that's where
believe,
they've been
Tony's
popping
video.
up, guys. So at any time, guys, pay attention to southwest and northeast. That's where they've been popping up
Yes.
consistently for the past
Yeah.
week, very consistently. And it could be clear skies for 1 minute, and the next minute you can get a hell of a show. So just it rarely, it's never
Stay
really
on
been
it.
that way. It's always
Yeah,
had,
you never know the minute when you're going to get a big.
nobody. It's
crazy.
always giving me like a sign or something, but lately it's like in a second, things just happen. Like yesterday and the whole week before that, everything that I saw, I was not expecting at all. Usually, I see some kind of sign that something's gonna happen, and then it happens. But these last few ones that I've gone, it's like absolutely no warning. It just comes out of nowhere. They literally just pop out of the sky and just kind of dip down, and then give you a hell of a show. And then just as fast as they come, just as fast as they go.
Yeah, there's been
In
weird
this shot,
winds. They just come the winds, eh? The winds.
In this shot, Maria and I both talked about this. I believe that in that one picture with the long box and the Texas cube, I think the Texas cube is in the upper left corner, and the long box is in the middle right, and these little straight white clouds on the right-hand side are star destroyers.
Yeah.
And we looked at them up close and big, and it does very much remind me of that. She believed that as well. And those white clouds, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, appear to be what the bottom of star destroyers would look like. So we got company, guys, and
Yeah.
and people really. And the thing is, it's a repetitive pattern as well. And yeah, look at this. See, ask yourself, where's the rest of the sun?
Wow.
Why behind planet Uri?
Mhm.
And that's the
Perfect.
bottom
And
base
again,
cloud of
beautifully
the asteroid belt of Uri.
Yes.
You can see the
That whole
faint
cloud pattern
striping.
on the bottom is the asteroid field underneath the side of Uri. And Uri is cutting off half the sun.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Whoa.
Oh my word! Wow. Wow. Wow.
I hope I don't have to say anything here.
I know, right? Like,
Planet.
if this one doesn't convince you, I don't know what's gonna.
What do
That's
people
incredible.
think that haven't seen them yet when they look up and they go,
I don't
"Kinda
have
looks like a
words.
planet." Like,
I have been watching these planets for so long. I do not have words to express to you why other people are walking through the parking lots and not looking up. I don't know. And government rated IQ or not, I can't answer that question.
I think
They're
it's because
coming
it's
to take
the
me
last
away.
the last thing that anybody would really expect. People are not going to just, their mind is not even going to go there. You know, it's like they wouldn't think about it.
Gosh,
It's so far out there.
it's awful dark. I
Yeah,
wonder
it's too far
why.
out.
And they
Yeah.
just don't look like how we would picture them to look in our heads, you know?
yeah, because we've been programmed to think of them looking a certain way.
Right.
We
You think
just
they're gonna look like Jupiter
haven't
passing by
got-
or something, or it's not what they look like at all.
no.
Yeah.
Once you
I'm gonna
open
be-
your mind to other possibilities,
Yeah.
you know, it does you much better. You know, you've got to be able to think
Well,
about.
we've been wholly trained to believe that anything that would be this
Unexpected.
close to us would crash into Earth.
Yeah.
We would be
Yeah.
dead. Oh, I love this one. This is at bottom of Attu's moon and asteroid rotation underneath bubbly sky. And these two light illuminated from the center to the center upper left are the asteroids in front of Attu's moon, which is in the upper right, and then Attu, which is in the entire left. And we got, oh God, probably 10 sightings today alone that match this from around the world. So I took a couple of them and sent them to Rebecca. And they're matching over and over and over again. And I've got a drawing that goes along with this as well. And it's a repetitive pattern that we've seen many, 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 many times over the years. And there you go. That's what you're looking at. And it happened in 2020, and it's happening right now in 24. The white moon is illuminated, and then purple Attu is in the background, and it's very dark.
Yeah.
There's another example of it right there as well.
Yeah.
I've got countless pictures of it looking
Yep.
like that this week here.
So that is this. Left of our sun.
Yep.
Wow.
It's always coming in at that angle, that big curve. So you can.
And it's illuminated,
usually tell
highly
what
illuminated inside the cloud pattern. And notice where the shadowing is on top of it. You know, it's on the opposite direction of the sunlight. And there's another example of it as well.
Same thing. Wow.
I believe this one is probably the Tan asteroid coming in on the bottom of Uri.
I've got countless of them that look like this week. Countless of them. All this gray stuff.
Yeah, and we have also cited the Skull asteroid a lot this week as well, and I think that's the next few pictures coming up.
Oh, there it is. There's
Yeah,
that.
Tan. Yeah, I was right. It is the Tan asteroid. I knew it through the comparison.
Wow. That is a cool
That- yeah.
picture.
That's the bottom of Attu's moon as well, right there,
Yes.
with
Wow.
Uri behind it.
Yeah, it looks like
On
it's
the
lit
left-hand side
up
of the
from
sun.
within. Oh wow, look
Yeah.
at that. Yeah, I've got a couple of
This is
pictures on
the-
my news feed.
This is
Calling
the
it not
illuminated
delusion
base core.
clouds.
Yeah, this is the base core illumination of planet Nepesity.
Wow.
I'll never
Yeah.
get used to that one. That always just throws me off so much. Like,
I
I
give
know
several
in my
examples.
head that's what it is, but every time I see this, it's like I don't know. It's just it weirds me out because
Well,
I'm used to
Look what
seeing
time of day it is.
a certain way, but this way is just not.
There's
one of
another example of it. Now remember,
If it wasn't- if
Nepesity's
it wasn't
axis
because
is dipping.
If it wasn't because you have mentioned this over and over again, I still think this was an illuminated asteroid. That's what I thought for the longest time.
Now remember that it's the pole, it's the southern pole of a smaller planet than ours. And it has, this is its aurora borealis at the south pole.
That is crazy.
That is
You can see
beautiful.
the core shape, you can see the big three asteroid group always on the left. coming in from the left, and there's
See,
a
this
picture
is
going
the
all the way
one.
back to 2016. Right.
This is the
This
one
was one of the
where
first illumination. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the one that you really. I thought this was illuminated asteroid, and then you mentioned. I was like, yeah, right. This goes way back when I was just starting to learn this stuff. I mean, this is an old capture, but when you said that, I was still kind of learning, and I was like, that's got to be an asteroid. It looks like an asteroid. It does not look like open core. And then I kept seeing that pattern repeat itself. Like, yeah, it's definitely necessity signs of necessity.
You
Because
look over to the left, and there's the big 3 asteroids.
Jeez.
And we've been watching this for many years. Oh, I love this. Saw this one later on. It's June 29th. And that is on the left is the lead asteroid. In front of, on the right, the Saturn Jello Moon and the Ion Tail Formation to the upper right. Again. And look where the sun is. To the left. So this is the right hand. You're looking at the Saturn Jello Moon and lead asteroid.
Oh wow, that's perfect. Look at that. It's just like it.
Yeah.
Little angle change, but yeah.
that one.
Yeah, look at this. Here's another example of this. Got this from Hugo, I believe. Hugo
I was
Smith.
gonna say this
Wow.
is Hugo's. I love his
Yeah.
work.
Oh my god.
Lead asteroid in front of a Saturn Jello Moon in front of a Saturn. And I believe he's in Holland.
Hugo has been a long time member. He was already a member when I joined. I don't know if he was new or if he was been for a while, but his captures have always been good. I've never seen him even back. Again, I'm not sure when he joined, but even back then,
Very early.
and I never saw a capture of his that wasn't exceptional. You know.
Yeah, he's an
that
excellent
Hugo?
dear friend and long valued member. And
Hugo?
I saw this today, and I had to send a copy of it.
Is it Hugo? Isn't that who you said? Hugo?
Oh, Hugo Smith.
No, Hugh.
Yes. Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Sorry.
You said Holland. Is he?
Anyway,
So he doesn't. He doesn't
I believe
speak
he's in Holland. Yes,
Does he?
I do not believe so.
Okay.
But,
So
Some people translate back and forth. I still talk. I talk to Thomas. I talk to Thomas occasionally, and Thomas takes the time to translate for me. Thank you. I thought we have a lot of members in Holland. We have a lot of members in Germany. We have a lot of members around the world. So, and they do some awesome work. And we always got to say hello to Petty over in Hungary, and of course Yvonne, and then Tony and Alexander and all of those great regular and Wendy Williams does some great work. There's lots of people out there that do wonderful work. Katie Joe, etc. Katie Joe, I saw your material this week. Thank you very much.
Aluwali, am I saying
I'm sorry, I'm dealing with my cough drop.
Aluwali, and
I'm wondering if I'm falling behind in the scrolling.
I have a question. So in this picture above the building where it has all those trails, I see a round object in there, right? And you see all these little wavy. Is that the lead object, or is the lead object over above the little bush?
Now think about the size of a lime above the house. In front of me in my size picture is the lead asteroid, and you're seeing the dark shadowing of it
Okay.
behind it, which is the dark
So-
blue, and that's all encased in the white clouds.
So look,
There might be smaller asteroids in front of or along next to the lead asteroid. We've never really had that
I mean-
many close-ups of it.
like look over. Okay, explain. Well, there's like a metal bar there, like I don't know, a swing or whatever. Right above that, there's a round object there too. And then there's
Yeah, you
look
can
at that
see there's a
illumination.
couple of round objects
Well-
in there.
Is that the yellow moon? Where see that
Well,
illumination?
actually, above that, the on the right hand side where the telephone wires are, and that
Uh-huh.
flaring,
Maybe it's a close.
and the illumination could quite easily be the long box cube, and the
Nice.
illuminated area that we're seeing coming from behind those telephone poles could easily be an illumination of the side orb. Because I can't think of why there would be an illumination there other than that.
Yeah.
And the light is breaking between the face of the Saturn's yellow moon, which is behind lead asteroid, and which is where you got that peacock sort of rainbowing going up in the upper right corner, which is where the Saturn's yellow moon is, and the ion tail going up, which is why it looks peacock rainbowy.
I love that picture.
Yeah,
I
this
love
is an
it.
awesome
That's
shot.
Because you can plainly see these things. You know, you can see these round objects there. And I know it's going to look just like
And it's
one
a
of your
repetitive,
drawings. You know?
it's a pattern. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's a
I gotta
pattern that
make
happens
comparison.
over and over, and everybody's getting the same shot, and people from around the world, and then 10 or 15, 20 people all send you the same shot, except they all look different, and yet they're exactly the same.
Look at that. Man, that's awesome. Okay. Here's that.
And after a while, guys, you
I know where
will
we're at.
start catching. Once you start catching onto those patterns, things get so interesting. Once you really start catching up on those patterns, it's like that's when the magic happens, and you start seeing it all. It's the greatest thing ever, man.
I'll point out the left picture first. Look in the upper right corner of the left picture.
It's like a face or a fingerprint or something.
That's the skull asteroid.
Yeah.
And so is the middle one, and so is the right hand one. But it's a transition shot. But I sent one of the worst pictures out of the group that she had captured because it has the best spatial appearance. And we are seeing, and we did last week as well. We are seeing the skull asteroid again. Rounding it is between Attu and Uri, and the stripes behind it are the stripes of Uri.
Gotta go see to the
And there's
dogs
lots
on
of stuff in there with that. Lots of asteroids long. Tons of small stuff.
I was going to show a few more pictures of the skull asteroid, I think. Let's see if it pulls up.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, just to.
I didn't send you a lot because I figured you had a bunch, and
I did.
we have hundreds and hundreds
I gotta
of them
add
over the
these.
years. We called the skull asteroid like 4 years before NASA ever announced that it even existed. And I'd also seen it by eye back then as well. So I knew it was real. And then a couple of clicks, years go by, and then they announced the skull asteroid, and I went, "Yep, I know it's real. I've seen that damn thing." And it'll scare
That
the pants
one-
off you when you see that thing come into the light.
I like that one.
It
You know what I'm saying?
really,
Yeah.
it's spooky.
That does look like.
I can't see it yet. It's still scrolling
Oh,
for me.
okay.
Apparently, my processor is running really slow, and it shouldn't be. I have a really good computer. I still don't see it. I'm looking at the asteroid thumbnail still. Come on.
Sad Sam.
Ah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a Mr. BBB 333 shot. And I'm not sure of the year it was captured. I would tell you it's probably on which side of the sun it's on. I would probably have to say this is like a 2018 photo. Because the skull asteroid has not been on that side of the sun, illuminated from that side since 2018, 2019. Because everything, it's been on the left-hand side for many years now. And as you can see in the left-hand upper pointing finger. And we've had numerous sightings over the last month or so. And that's because we can actually see between Uri and Attu now. As Attu goes over our heads, we see the skull asteroid easier because it's exposed. Because Attu is usually in front of it, but it's there, and we've sighted it for many, many years, time after time. Now, NASA gave an orbit ratio and a return trying to describe that it was in Earth's orbit when it is not, and therefore their return was completely wrong. I see we lost everybody. They're all on little scientist breaks. I'm due myself.
Oh, I sure
Now the
have. Look
the
at
picture on the right is really really old.
Yeah, I know.
The
That's
one
been around.
the one on the right is one of the oldest. There's one 2015 or 2016. The one on the left is more recent, many years more recent.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's part of how we knew that it had a lower jaw at certain angles of the view. Whereas a lot of the shots, there's in the left-hand shot, there's an asteroid in front of it, so you don't get to see the open mouth. And that's happened in many, many captures where there's so many asteroids around it that you don't get to see the actual full facial features of the skull asteroid. But once you learn the shadowing of the skull asteroid, and once you see it by eye, there's no forgetting it. But it is quite real.
So.
And we do have the NASA original, and we've got many that they released after that as well.
So I stepped out back, a few minutes ago, and here
Some
is
with the jaw, some without.
Here's what it looks like a few minutes ago in my backyard. It's pretty.
Still scrolling.
Yeah, look at that.
Still
Oh,
scrolling.
All right. It was definitely flashing, but look at that blue ring around the sun. Wow.
The blue asteroid is close to the sun, so it's possible for blue hue.
Yeah, I figured something like that. Because I know the green asteroid does that too, and Novicity makes it green sometimes.
Yeah, but it's not cut off anywhere because we're not seeing any flaring. There is a bunch of crud in the sky.
Yeah.
That white blob right dead center at the bottom there could easily be the blue asteroid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's something. It's something.
A little crusty.
It is there.
chunks
It's in
up
it's in the monthly site drawing, and of course now where you live, it's in the proximity, although the angle may be slightly different from where you live on the planet. But I try to draw it generically for everyone, and with minor variations, so keep that into account. And of course, whenever this could have been, several days older or earlier in the day, or
Oh, it was about. I took
each
it.
capture is
today.
different. So,
I took it like 30 minutes ago.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I stepped out back.
Yeah, I keep looking at that little blip underneath the sun there, and I would say you may have the blue asteroid right there. And that would account for the blue hue in the sun because it's directly refractive of the light. And the blue asteroid would affect the sun color of the light that's coming. It would gather a blue
wonder if
hue.
it shows anything. Yeah, it's like a peak. And then also I
We
just
know
realized
the blue asteroid has a dot in the center. We know the blue asteroid has a dot in the center.
True. That's a good something to look for. I'll look at my still shots. Here is that video.
Always use spatial markings.
Tony sent. Well, no, you sent me this video of Tony's in.
Did I?
Switzerland.
I don't even really remember what I did this
know.
morning.
Where is it? I have.
Oh, we were so busy talking about other things all day too.
Yeah, I opened it somewhere where you all can't see it. That's crazy. Oh boy. All right, let's try this.
That's always fun. Everybody think quick in your mind. We'll have a little Farseeing lesson. There you go.
There, really. Okay.
Yeah, all that purple is planet.
Is that like Atu and Isatum? Just side by side?
That's all of them. Yeah.
All that.
Yeah. Everything that's really dark is planet. Everything that's light and other light blue is normal sky, but all these darks are planets directly over our heads.
I would love to have that for my. Yeah, I don't know where he lives, like there, or if that's his backyard or what. But
Yeah, talking about fresh
I'm
clean.
feeling it is. He's
It
usually in
must
that
be
spot.
nice. You know,
To be born there.
I would be. I used to live in the mountains. Now that the city came to me. When I moved out here, it was quiet. Now it isn't.
Right.
Okay, it's time for me to run to the little scientist room. I've
Okay,
waited long
Sam.
enough. You guys all got to go away for a while. Must be my turn.
Yeah, take a break. Take a second. You do you. You do you. You'll be fine. I'm zooming in on that object under the sun, lower left. And I'm going to present that here. And we can investigate it and see if it has a dot on it. Because he's right. The blue asteroid, we've caught it several times. It has a definite dot in the middle.
Yeah.
So I'll pull up my pictures of that too, so we can compare. But bear with me a second. Other than that, it was just really hot outside, but it does not look like we're having storms in 2 hours. So, but you know how they can just creep up on you.
Yep. Remember when you went live maybe a month or two ago when you were doing your 30 days?
Yeah.
And you had that, we thought it was Atu's moon where it had the 3 pillars, that were going up. I'll send you a picture of this shot I got the other day. It looks just like it.
Perfect. Yes, you should. Okay. Here it is. This is that object under the sun that Sam was talking about in my video.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to tell, really. I see things in front of it.
I know, I see things like that as well, and I wonder, what are those wee puffballs?
But it's perfectly round, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it could be one round object, or with the dot in the middle, or just a bunch of tiny
there's
ones.
one with the dots in the middle that I wonder, but isn't the green asteroid, doesn't it also have dots?
I know.
And then there's another wee, very
the green
faint
asteroid.
one.
There's
a wee faint one. Is that the green asteroid?
The green asteroid looks like a sea virus. It has dots all around it, and then sometimes you see them as black dots, depending on if it's in the shadows. We don't know what the heck is going on with the green asteroid, but the blue asteroid has a big circular dot in the center of it, as we can plainly see in this picture before us. The red asteroid, of course, is oblong, teardrop shaped. Lead asteroid has its own facial features. The spiral asteroid, of course, spirals. And there's actually 2 of them, which is why it creates that spiral concentric pattern, as the larger or the smaller one sort of trails behind the bigger one, and then it leaves this spiral trail behind it. Let me see what else. There's been so many of the other stuff that we've watched from the OCG. We call it the OCG because it's Object Cluster Group. That always reminds me to talk about that we don't fully know that they're not all of them are asteroids. Some of them could be moons. We do not know. And I have to, every once in a while, I got to throw that out there on the table. And our science is the best that we can achieve. And so there may be some mistakes along the way, but I am pretty sure that, we don't have a lot of them. We know that Matim is tiny. We know that Atu's moon has craters on it. That's why we know it's Atu's moon. We know that Atu is a gas giant because it has stripes. And we know that they run vertically compared to Uri's horizontal stripes. We know that Atu is dark purple. That affected us very heavily in 2016, 17, 18, and 19. And we had these really weird purple skies for a very long time around the world, and you can look that up. And we know that its Saturn is red, and we know that its Saturn's yellow moon looks like it does because years ago, way back 2014-15, when we watched her arrive, we got many shots that had absolutely no clouds wrapped around them whatsoever, except for the ion trail that the Saturn's yellow moon puts on around both sides of its Saturn. And that's where we knew that the winged planet was actually planet Saturn and not red planet Nibiru, because Nibiru is not red. We know Nibiru is a water type planet because we've watched it go by all the way back in 2011 and 2012. And that information has been documented, and we're terribly sorry that you haven't been on board with this information. But that's why we're doing our program, to include this information for you guys, because we have been watching this since 2010 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15. And then the transition of the planetary patterns changed. And then Nibiru went away for a while, and Saru backed away for a while. And then we saw Yuri up close and that too, and Nepesity and stuff. And then they went around in big circle in front of us through a series of cycles from right to left to right to left over a several year program, and have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, which culminates to the point where we are today. So this has been a very long process of us watching the planetary cycles and the repetitive sightings coming in from around the world for 14 years. And that's why we're number one in the market publicly. I mean, maybe there's people out there that know more than we do, but there's nobody talking about it and doing it the way we do it.
Nothing comes close. I'm a member of over 35 groups, and
Wow.
none of them comes in anywhere close, except our sister sides, but it's a total crap show out there. The thing is that there's no rules, there's no things to follow. Everybody's just posting, willy-nilly, whatever, and it's so easy to if you don't have any kind of guidelines to a group and enforce them, God, shit can get crazy. I mean, shit can get really crazy really quick. I've had a lot of that recently on comments on my videos. Some I could delete, some I can't, or some I can at least respond to them so they don't spread misinformation. Because it's a big problem when people do that, because you have to go back and somebody comments on your video and they're talking about the firmament, they're talking about all this other stuff. What happens is you're gonna have somebody else that's new and comes and then sees that, and either they're gonna go down the wrong rabbit hole, or you're gonna push them away. And it's a lot of work to kind of clean up all that stuff.
And that boils down to where some of them have to be downright removed.
Yeah.
Some comments have to be removed. Sometimes.
Some of the comments that I got on some of my videos were like, damn, wow. Like, some of them didn't even have anything to do with anything,
Yeah, it's like they just dive off at a tangent. They take one of your words and just freak out with them.
Well, one of them commented, "I'm gay." I'm like, you're in the wrong group, dude. Like, no, nobody, First of all, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. Okay, good for you.
Second of all, I'm like, you're in the wrong group, dude. Like, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
We're talking about the sky, not a moon. Get it? Not a moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
We're not mooning.
I think it's trolls, because I usually go into their profile to see, and it's usually very vague. There's maybe 3 posts, if that. There's no pictures. There's nothing of substance, which to me is a huge red flag. If you don't have
just
pictures,
an AI then a made up one.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have pictures,
That's what I'll bomb a drawing on
them. Something normal, I'm not gonna accept anything. If you friend request me, and you don't have anything on your, I don't. It has to be a normal, profile.
Oh, I sent you some pictures, Rebecca. I just don't know where you want me to
Oh.
send them.
Now let's look
Let
at
me
this
see.
picture for a second.
Okay.
This is important. Look at the water.
Yeah, that's what I was dismissive at first until I saw the water. Interesting.
What is
Now
that?
the third
It's
one,
so-
that third dot, the
That's
third
one.
dot is a lens flare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where was this picture taken?
right.
And what do we have there? We think we're watching separation occur. You know what? The lead asteroid, a little too small. Red asteroid, wrong shape. Very bright red, very uniquely red circled. Very interesting. Could one of these be? Well, could the one on the left be our dwarf yellow soul? And
Wow.
could the red one on the right be the standard red, maybe going away from us, which would be better than coming towards us? But it's on the water.
Yeah.
The water shows you it's real. There is no asteroid other than the blue asteroid, and I don't see a dot in the center of this, that size, that close to the right-hand side of the sun. The lead asteroid would have to be much bigger. Who knows? Is this a star that we don't realize? Is this I would assume that the standard red would be much brighter. So that's sort of a deterrent of that conclusion. So what are we looking at? We know that red object is there because it's on the water.
Wow.
Now, the blip on the far right is not, because it's not reflecting
Yeah.
on the water. That's
Yeah,
the lens
and
flare.
it's clearly, and it looks more like a lens flare too.
And
Well,
these two objects are different sizes. The yellow object and the red object are
Yeah.
different sizes. If they were the
Do you
same
know
size, I would say,
do we-
okay,
do we-
double glass.
Do we know who took this? What do we know
No.
about this picture?
I don't.
Sorry, Jesus. I cannot remember.
Well, if the person is out there and they know where any information on
Right.
it, they can tell us.
Say,
Yeah, I would love to hear.
Yeah, background information is always helpful.
I want to say it was shared by somebody.
I don't
that-
know what this is, but it's there.
You know what I mean? I want to say it's shared by somebody that shares, just pictures happening around the world. Did you say what that was to the far right? The red orb, the second one.
Yeah,
Is
the
that-
red dot, that's a lens flare.
Uh-huh.
No, the far one on the right hand side, the little orangish
Yeah.
pink blip is the lens flare because it does
Yeah,
not
the-
reflect on the water.
The dingy one is
Yeah.
is clearly the lens flare.
I'm supposed to say hi to Ninja. Ninja is here, and Anissa Rabians. I just saw
Um,
Anissa
hello,
Rabians
guys.
is here. Hi.
Thank you for being here. Peace be with you. Screenshot time for drawing. Yeah.
Look at that.
Hi, Wendy Williams.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Oh, hey, there's Wendy. I hadn't got a chance to message Wendy back yet, but I did see her message on Messenger, and I meant to tell her that I had to postpone her slideshow. I did not get it finished yet. So that we had to look forward to for next Saturday is we're going to have a slideshow of Wendy's
Great.
greatest
Nice.
picks. So,
Well,
yeah,
she has a lot of them.
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Takes a
She
lot
does.
of
I know it's gonna be easy. It'll be or a long video. I don't know, but it'd be cool. Yeah. That's the point.
Yeah, I used to yell at her for over bombing the site. Now I don't even bother her anymore because she's always posting so many, which is great.
Yeah, she was
I
telling
gave
me
in
that
to
how
beat
she,
me.
like,
You win.
is in the car a lot. She's out driving, so she sees a lot of things because she's out going places.
Yes,
So
that
I
is
think
the
great.
favorite. That is my favorite part of my job is that I get to drive everywhere. Although sometimes it drives me crazy because these things happen so quickly that sometimes you don't have time to park and take pictures. But
That's what a bike's for. That's what a bike's for. You just sort of stop and take a picture.
Yeah.
But then you still have to grapple it out of your pouch bag and stuff. So by then you're like, oh no, it's going away. Oh no.
Come on, you guys got to go pro, man. Get helmet cams. Come
What
on.
about Yuri?
Yeah, like ding 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 ding.
Lots of things, but
Yeah, get an AI
Yeah,
system in your adapted in your car to film for you while you drive,
sorry.
or like dashboard cam that films everything, and then
But,
you spend hours editing.
But,
Helmet
we
camera.
can set it to record the planets.
Yep. Record planets. You bet.
Get one of those little robo guys on top of a bike helmet. Ooh.
Yeah, I wonder if you could get AI to do that. Yeah, this is interesting.
Look at that. Maybe red asteroid.
I see the illumination we talked about earlier, where we were, Jesus and I were going.
I was just
Says,
thinking
I
the
think
same
that's an
thing,
asteroid.
sir.
I would bet you that this is
It's
the red
just-
asteroid in front of Nepesity.
Huh? Looks like
Wow.
asteroid. Looks like
No,
red
I was
asteroid.
seeing definitely an opacity color there.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
in the background.
illumination's opacity.
And then
Yeah.
it's red asteroid, very big, very teardrop shaped. And then there's an orange cut in the upper right, and I would bet money that is the side of red planet is Saturn.
Wow.
Because now all of that is stepping in front, while the other ones are going into the background and off to the left, and yet we see them still so close, and yet because they're also damn ballpark over the top of us, it's so weird. It's becoming a nightmare just to identify shit anymore, except that you just go through the old standards and you run through all of the parameters through your head. Well, we know what the bottom of this is.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
This is a close
That's
pass of
incredible.
Nepesity again. Yeah. And part of our freak weather and the rain bombs and the freak intense storms that come out of nowhere. Tell me that's a supercell. Look at
Looks
the
like a
size
brush.
of that thing.
There's like a brush that's just gonna come in and sweep everything away.
Or it's just gonna suck
scrubbing
everything up.
Remember the 90s and 2010 scrubbing bubbles commercial?
Yeah,
somebody's
yes,
Dow
yes.
chemistry scrubbing bubbles.
That's exactly what. Yeah, I couldn't place what was in my mind. That's right. The little tiny scrubbing bubbles. That's. I remember those. That's exactly what it reminds
And
me of.
the last one, as they all go down the drain, the last one smiles, hops once, then goes down the drain.
That's right.
Yeah, well, that's what makes me think that Nepesity is so much smaller than the rest of them because of how fast it rotates and all of the direct close pass effects. Now, we've seen lightning events from Nepesity, but it's usually a very large, very wide single strike. Just boom. And at push-offs. This may be, oh, wow. Oh. It's a planetary wake push, but I am tempted to say that too. Moreover, well, we know that Nepesity would be behind it, depending on the direction we're looking. I don't know. Freak weather from above.
I mean, sorry, I was just gonna say, like the size and that look, how it's on the left side of the sun, and two are Uri, right? But
Well, I was trying to get a shadowing here in sticks or anything on the ground, on the shore there, but I didn't really fully know where the sunlight was coming from. I think it's from the left behind us, but that would be a hard call.
Yeah.
But I can see that the cloud push has got that one cylindrical line going from top right to middle left, and that looks like a planetary push in that is creating a front of weather on our earthly weather pattern. I can't tell you what is exactly going on here, but it looks like a planetary push.
thank you, Carolyn. Wow.
And people have to realize these things get damn close and very scary.
Oops. But thank you very much, Carolyn. That definitely
Yeah,
helps.
Thank you, Caroline.
I'll owe you an
Uh,
F-bomb.
Yes, experimental, a bubble ball. Or a sea virus, or a virus with little bristly hairs that illuminate green. We've never seen anything like it in all the asteroids. The green asteroid is freaky weird, and I've said this in damn near every time we discuss it. I, for the life of me, do not know what the hell that green asteroid is, but it's weird.
So I'm in 2000, right around 2017, 18, right around that time. I saw them. I don't know which ones they were because it was so early on in my being a member, but I saw them on a very, very close pass, and it's almost, I wasn't sure if they were asteroids. They were so close, so low that I wasn't sure at the time if they were asteroids or if they were craft. It was so close. And
Well, when they're in a group like that, and were they discharging? Is the question.
But it was
the
it was
cra-
day it was midday. It was like midday, so it wasn't. There was a lot going on, But I zoned in into these, and I tried to take a video, and I did take some pictures, but I could not get the camera.
Ron, in 2018,
But they had.
in 2017 and 18, they weren't close back then. They were in the middle of our out view, but they weren't anywhere close to horizontal. So if you did see
What did I
a
see
group
some
that was
because
low to the
they-
horizon and close to Earth,
Well, because I saw them just kind of floating, right? Literally floating, just kind of like they were just. It was the craziest thing, but they had Sam. It was beautiful. It was like the coolest thing because they had little. They each had different colors, but they had spots on them. They had like little spots. Some had. One of them was like blue. One of them was green. One of them was red. I think there was another one that was like yellow,
Okay.
and then
yeah, that's the
they
object
had
cluster group.
spots on them. They had little
Yeah,
dots
you
on them
just-
of different colors.
Yeah, and that's all the smaller stuff that we don't have that didn't have colors. Yeah, I've got pictures going all the way back. That's the blue, green, and red, and all the little stuff in the dots. Yeah, that is literally the object cluster group, and that's what
I got
back in,
pictures of it, but they were nowhere near. They just do not depict what I saw with my eyes because I could
yeah,
not
I'm
get my
gonna
camera.
Rebecca, I'm gonna send you on Facebook PM a picture of the object cluster group. I can send you several actually because I want to impress this upon newer people. OPQ. Oh wait, what's that? Object cluster group. Come on, get your spelling right. And All right.
I'll have to go to bed
send
soon
you
because
an
I've got
old
work
copy.
tomorrow.
Darn it.
Okay.
I know. I just
I'm
got
going
your
to send
picture
you one of the old.
ready to show
Okay.
on a video. So
Did you? Oh, okay.
yeah, it's like 3 minutes, but yeah.
Okay. I can wait still.
Okay, it won't be, but yeah.
Okay. This is one of the oldest pictures of the object cluster group we have going back years, and it may have come. I can't remember exactly who sent it. It's probably on the picture, but it's small. I can't read it yet. And then I'll send you another one or two real fast. So be grabbing them. All right. And
This is already here. It's confusing. You got to remember, guys, that our out view and everything is 3D. This looks like it's facing down, but I'm willing to say that it's more like moving away. Underneath whatever planet it's under. Well, what do you think, Sam?
I can't see it at this very moment. One sec, please. I'm scrolling through. Okay, this is an important picture, and then I'll just leave it at that. Okay, let me come back to StreamYard. Oh, that one. Yeah, they are. These are. This is the red asteroid and the spiral asteroid orbiting under Attu's moon, and it has gone vertical because it is streaming away from us.
Yeah, there you go. So those angles kind of.
And our mind tells us it's going down, but it's not.
Yeah, the camera also. This is the way it captures it, and after using cameras so much, I've learned this that if it could be very confusing sometimes to see something like this. It looks like it's coming straight down to Earth, but it's actually moving away from us.
Right. For the most part, I have a diagram on that. Sometimes it orbits visually under from the left. Sometimes it visually orbits under from the middle. Sometimes it orbits visually from the right. Far fewer from the right than from the left or middle, generically. Way far fewer because of where they are. If they were on the other side, then it would be the opposite. And out view has a lot to do with axis tip and view of orbitation. It's just like this week as well. We got a whole bunch of really cool, very close horizontal pass of the spiral asteroid from around the world again, including the arcing end of the trail where it actually changes direction across our horizon at the end of the out view, because it's actually changing direction as the planet it orbits turns over our head. So after it's gone many miles very across our low horizon, because it's very close to us, just like lead asteroid used to do that as well prior to the close horizontal pass of the spiral asteroid. Right now, we had it many years ago, whether it was the lead asteroid that was doing that, and that was way back in 215 to 18, etc. And they were so close on many occasions, I thought we were in deep shit. But these things do not hit us because they are electrically attached to the gas giants, and they also discharge and repel. And we've seen thousands of sightings of that. Yeah, this is the oldest, one of the oldest ones. This was the green asteroid, the blue asteroid, the red asteroid, and they were on the side of Urias, the dark area in the upper left.
That looks like what I saw, just a lot closer and a lot more clear. That looks like the colors were just the most amazing colors. Nothing that you would ever see down here on Earth. Nothing. Like it was beautiful. Like that's the only way I could describe it. It was just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
And of course, I've got tons more.
Because if you're seeing them, you're basically seeing them as close as they were. I was in complete shock because I was so new to all this at the time. That day was crazy.
I just sent another one from that time. I think it's dated 2017. But there's another one right after that we just saw. That if you could put that one. Oh, it's already up.
Do you have that picture?
Yeah, I just sent the next one after this is also equally important because that shows back at the same time you were talking about 2017.
You should send me that one if you can.
Yeah, me.
I love that picture because it really does.
Okay, for sure.
It really, like the pictures I took really didn't make it justice at all. But that is the closest thing that I can. That's definitely a match. That's what I saw. But they were just so
everywhere.
It almost looked to me, Sam, that day.
Everywhere in this picture.
It almost looked to me like they were alive or something. Maybe at the time because I didn't understand what I really was seeing. I was so confused by it. I was. It took me so long.
That was what was so special about the object cluster group. We watched them come in and they were glowing. They're self-illuminating. It's like they're a static electron light in space underneath planet Urian, planet Atu, and they glow. And you're seeing an example of this glow. This is not cloud illumination. If you're looking dead center, I'll be right with you. It's pizza cutting time. But that illuminated object back in 2016 is the lead asteroid, and everything behind it is illumination of Atu directly above it, and behind that is Uri, which goes from the left middle all the way to the setting sun in the right middle. That is the object cluster group and all of its micro debris between Atu and Uri from underneath in the bottom hemisphere all the way back in 2016. And go to the next picture as well, and I'll be back by then, and you can just spend a minute looking at the three comparatives and a drawing on the next picture. I'll be right back.
Okay, Sam. Okay. How about while Sam steps away, we look at Jillian's pictures real quick since she has to go to bed. It's like 2 or 3 minutes long. She sent me some pictures, and it's faster to throw them onto a video than pin them into files. So, where is it? I just had it. Is this it?
Say hi, Brendan.
Doesn't look like that's it. Hang on. One second. Is this it? Let's try this one. Okay.
Playing with all your little buttons. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So
See, this has been making its rounds. A lot of stuff just like this.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see the curve of probably Ice Atom or maybe a Nibiru. And that's like right below it. Asteroids.
hmm Yeah, just another view of the same thing we've been seeing everywhere this last week.
We've all been seeing it, eh?
Yeah. When did you take these, Jillian?
These ones were like a couple of days ago, just a couple of days ago. This was all during the week.
Hey, Thunder.
Yes.
Thunder is seeing it too.
You're
Yeah.
all seeing the same
Yes.
thing. Yeah. I love when we get outside confirmation like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was also sunset. So like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. That was today. Straight up. No, that was about... What time was that one? Oopsie. It looked like a butt sticking out of the clouds.
And I'm back.
Hey, Sam. We're looking at you at Jillian's pictures before she had to go to bed. And then I'll go back to your third picture
Okay.
of OCG. Yeah.
Yeah, that big.
That would most likely be a Saturn yellow moon. Rico, okay. That's the side of Yuri and Saru.
They need to sign you up on a deal.
Huh. Yeah. They, you advertise. That's again, Saturn's yellow moon.
Yeah, she's really close and she's really busy.
Yeah, and very turbulent. And a straight line. It's probably base cloud opacity, just above the sun.
Got that greeny kind of tinge.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Atu's moon with the red asteroid coming in from the upper left into the middle.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. And it was accentuated in the other one. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
That is
Saturn
cool.
yellow moon in his Saturn.
Okay.
Wow, could be the that could be the bottom of one of the planets leading into the asteroids. I didn't get to see it long enough to really look at it, but
Yeah, it's
That's okay.
definitely more than one planet. Maybe like 2 or 3. I see.
Yeah, because that was the sun down behind the tree.
I do see now if you go back. Because you can see the different layers. Right above the tree, it goes all the way across, and then you go up, and it's a different color, and it goes all the way across, and then you go up. You can see all the layers. Planet in front of
That's
planet.
phenomenal.
And then the cluster in front of it, the asteroids.
A
So,
whole squadron of asteroids
Yep.
there.
yeah, have all kinds of stuff up there.
And all stuffs. All them little rocks.
that's a good one.
So very good job there, Jillian.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm thinking that might be the tipped axis of necessity core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I phoned you, you said something like that because I tried to show you the stuff and I think you said that.
Yeah.
But my brain's gone into mental
Oh,
shutdown.
I already told you. Then
Yeah, you better go to bed.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Late.
Good night, Jillian.
Good night.
Good
Night,
night.
Jillian.
Night, night, guys.
Well, we always try to prompt you so that you that way you get your rest. Good night.
Yep. We'll see
Mwah.
you
Night,
next
Rebecca. You be good to
Good
yourself.
night. I will. I'll be in touch.
Yes, let me know how you are.
I will. Thank you. Thank you.
Night, guys.
Okay.
Night, Jillian.
Good night, Jillian. Have a good
All the
week.
boys. All the boys.
Really? Yes.
So many of you.
Good night.
Yo.
Night, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Good night, all everybody out there in Facebook land.
Yay.
Tell Holly I say night, night too. Yeah.
Perfect.
Night.
Cool. All right. Bye-bye, Jillian.
Bye.
That's cute. She can't
Trying
find her
to
way
press-
out. That's what I do. You want me to help
I'm
you?
like, it's stuck in a maze, man.
I know.
I'm getting
I'll
there.
help you.
Yeah, there's too many little bleep messages. Night.
Every time I go live. Bye. She can't get out. Okay. I helped her. Every time I go live, I can't find the end live button. So I tell everybody goodbye. And then I'm, it's embarrassing. It's like you don't want that to happen, but
Still
it
there,
happens.
yeah.
I know.
But yeah, I just reach over and hit the X button on the whole computer and just shut everything off.
Yeah, I have done that before. I would like shut my whole phone
There
down.
are benefits to having a computer,
Yeah, I've done that before.
disconnect,
Like, dang it, I'm embarrassed. Just turn it off. Oh man. Okay. Oh, here's that picture that one you sent me, Sam.
Okay. All right, and this goes back
Go get it.
2016,
Oh, wow.
2017, and we saw this underneath Yuri, and this is where it originally started coming up with the name, and in the drawing, which is kind of blurry because that's back in the old generation cameras, and the potato quality computer cameras, and all of that. And it was the green asteroid was in the front, and the lead asteroid was a lot of the time was in the front, but the actual minutia of green asteroid, we didn't call it the lead asteroid, we just called it the little green one, and and then the red asteroid and blue asteroid and all of that were all into this patch, and we started getting captures of it, as you can see, 2016, 2017. And it was always there, and it was always there, and there's that pattern again, and there's that pattern again, and that's why we called it the object cluster group originally, because you could see way back when it was so small. And an example of that is the bottom picture in the bottom right corner, and the planet Yuri and Saru are everything in the dark area, and the real sky is only this little horizontal line, and the sunset in the bottom right picture. And all of that orange and everything is passing planet. And even back in 2016, when Saru was back there and Yuri was above and in front, no one could easily see it. And meanwhile, at the same time, I'm staring off on the other side of the sunset watching Nibiru for many, many years. And I tried to get everybody to know these things, but back then it was a different out view was, of course, different. And the object cluster group, OCGs, because we typed it so many times, we just shortened it. Were bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then if you remember that, the other photo prior to this one, where it was illuminated at night and everything, that's all of the debris and asteroids that are underneath the planet Yuri and Atu. And so we've seen these patterns for all of these years, and they, of course, now are so huge that we're watching and calling the lead asteroid, which has been in years past, it was actually way bigger than it is currently now. I mean, way, way bigger. And now the red asteroid is currently doing center cameo role of larger. And we've seen some examples where it's very huge. And we may yet again in this year. And then, of course, the spiral asteroid is close now to the horizon. So over the time, now, in these shots as well, the spiral asteroid is visible, but it's just the same placement where it is. It's only much smaller back then. And this is that same group that's always been under Atu and Yuri and all of that. And I can even go and grab you a space capture of that, where it's actually captured by NASA and then shared, but they didn't realize what they were sharing, and I did. Let me see if I can find that really fast.
I'd love to see that.
And we've seen it for many, many years now. And okay, well, yeah, it's sort of tagged. So if you could grab that, Rebecca, that will answer some people's question. Now look at the pattern before it comes off StreamYard. And we lost Rebecca. I see. I just came back to StreamYard. She's not there.
I was going to say, you're definitely lagging there because Rebecca left like a minute ago.
Well, I was on Facebook and not looking at the
Oh, okay.
screen.
All right, gotcha. I was like, I
Okay,
guess
well-
he doesn't know she's gone. Yeah. Mm.
Speaking
Well, I was,
of,
going through the file on Facebook because I got to jump from StreamYard to Facebook to send her a file on PM Facebook. So I sent you a
Okay.
shot, Rebecca,
okay,
on PM, and it's a inverted NASA release picture, and then I've tagged some of the names of some of the asteroids and objects onto it, and that goes
Yeah,
back,
I
I think,
remember
about maybe the date's on it. I think it's 2019.
okay. So I have that, and while
But
I'm
the date may
getting
or may
that
not be on
added,
it.
okay. Andrea Adams sent this to me and wanted to know if that was the spiral asteroid.
Wow. Well, I see three major. And normally it would be farther over to the left. These may be smaller asteroids that we have not cataloged, but normally the spiral asteroid would be middle of the sun to the left-hand side of the sun.
See, I caught something. Was it a couple of days ago at dawn? Very, very similar to this. I have not gone through the footage.
Where
I
was
took. It was. Gosh, where was it? It was in the southeast, more or less southeast. Southeast was what it was taking up most of southeast. But there was a lot of there was stripes, but there was no visible planet. What I really saw was mostly asteroids. Is what I saw. It looked like an asteroid belt. Is really what it looked like.
There's a
I'll
lot
try
of
to
that going
post
on.
that later today. I'll try to post that later today. After we finish the show, but yeah, it looked like stripes. But as I zoomed in, there was just rocks all over the damn place, all in a uniform line. Maybe that's what this is. Only
Yeah, I'm sure that
there's more
that's
light.
probably the
It's
case.
a little harder
Yeah.
to see the small stuff.
She
But
said
I
it was
think
a
that might be what this is.
that inverted picture was from 2020.
Okay, let's go back. Thank you, Andrea.
It's a color inverted picture of the asteroids. This is actually a NASA released picture, but we had the colors inverted to a
What do
negative.
they call it?
And you can see the red asteroid, you can see this cube, you can see the green asteroid, you can see the triangle craft, you can see the skull asteroid in the upper left corner. Just like, and it all matched, and we just went, whoa, And this is, by the way, is the lead asteroid crossing in front of the sun, if I recall correctly, back in 2020. Which is why it made that weird flaring, which is why we added inverted.
What did NASA say about this? You said it's a NASA release. What did they say about it?
Okay, I've got another. Okay, now you're sending me down to the file again. I got another similar release, and that'll show you what these are. Let's see if I can find it. I'm pretty sure I can, but there are other times I think about things I cannot find. OP. Oh. There's a song in there somewhere. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I
if can
remember
find
this
it.
from the early. I remember this picture. It's
I've
older
used
than
it because it all matches in the end.
but it's older than
It gave
2020,
us
right?
yeah, it's probably older by half a year because it took me a while to tag it. Okay, where is it? I see one of them. Geez. Well, here's an example. This is not the one I was directly looking for, but Rebecca, here's an example of the NASA released footage I was referring to, and then we had it inverted. And this, of course, it got the date on it as well, and I can blow that one up for myself and see it is 2018, March 8th.
I know Brendan.
This is the kind of releases they were releasing,
Wow.
and then
It's
I
true.
remember that picture.
we would blow them up, and we'd look at them, and then we would do comparative to our asteroid pictures of the objects, and when the rainbow color clouds were coming in on the sides of the planets and everything, and we were seeing all this stuff. Sharon Harvick back in the early Montana Skywatcher 1 days was getting all a bunch of great captures, and a lot of people around the country were getting great captures. And we cross-reference these shots; they started to match. And now that the asteroids are way closer and way more close to Earth, if we're going to fly. But that's the generic. Boy, these are nice. I'm sitting here looking at Robert Marshall Smith's pictures coming in from New Zealand. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Wow. Copy image. I'll send you a copy of that if you wish to. Oh my God, the next one's good too. What am I gonna do? Oh no.
We're gonna have to make
Fresh
like
information. We wanna keep
a show where we dig into Sam's old files.
That'd be cool.
Right. Yeah, I do have some fold, but not. I don't know if they're all older ones. But yeah, that's a good idea.
Sam has a lot of older stuff.
Older.
I know Sam always tries to keep it current, but it's always nice to. It's always nice to dig into your old bag of tricks and see what you can find.
I save all the things he sends me and put them in their own folders, so we can at least go back and like reminisce about what,
Yeah.
that he picked out. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff like this that I remember seeing from the old days, but because my level of knowledge was still kind of new, it kind of went over my head, kind of.
Yeah. There's some here. I was open one.
There was a lot of cool stuff that came out of stereo A and B.
Like here's one of the folders I have that is just pictures from Sam. That's not too long ago, February.
I love these. I wish
Yeah.
this.
Boy, you got quiet. Who's that?
This is probably some.
I just got booted.
Really?
I
I
just
thought
got
I was like,
booted
what
out.
happened? Yeah.
Nobody
Huh.
wants you to reach in your bag of tricks, Sam.
I guess not. Go get your donut, your apple fritter, and some coffee. I'll be boring for the next hour. I promise.
We're gonna
Okay,
talk
this is
cats. We're gonna
2024.
talk
Look
cats now,
that.
so-
Oh, well,
Time to break
this is,
time,
we were
guys.
talking about pictures that just you sent, like that you picked out. And this is one of the folders I have that is pictures that you sent me. Like you picked them out, you sent them to me. So
Yeah, that's the earliest Saturn.
they're significant. Yeah.
Yeah, no crap. That's an earliest Saturn. It's Saturn
That's
June.
early.
And yeah, that's like 2004. That is a Saturn,
2000.
and yeah, that little white blue dot may be the second moon because we believe that a Saturn actually has 3 moons. You can't see the third one, but it is in this shot. It's in the lower right, but it's shadowed and it's a black dot.
I see it.
We think his Saturn actually has 3 moons, which is why it does the winged reach out around the side of a Saturn's yellow moon and around his Saturn. I think the ion trail goes from the front moon to the 2 side moons and then around the planet overall. Because they're very close orbiting of his Saturn, I guess. An electrical bleed off of some sort of event. I can't, but we know that it does have a winged effect in thousands of captures, thousands. So we know it's the winged red planet, and we know it's called Isatum from our planetary name guides and all of that. Because we did our homework. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is in early 2015, and this is the approach.
I know this is one of your favorites right here, man. I love this.
This is one of my favorites. This is striped planet Attu with little white cloudy Attu's moon, and the asteroids going in front of it, which is the trail is coming in at that angle. In front of very large Uri.
Yeah, when I was
way
new,
back-
it was always Yuri behind that too. Always Yuri behind
Yeah.
that. That's
And
what I-
once we saw Attu come in, and once we saw how purple Attu was, oh my God, we knew that the names of the planets were correct according to the planetary guide, name guide, which was an early Pleiadian message video plus off-world information that I had. And when all of this shit matched, we finally just went with the names, and it's been accurate ever since. And this is all stuff we spent years and years proving. And if you can't see that planet dead center in the middle of this picture, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, we didn't even know Attu had a moon. And prior to this picture and this series of pictures in 2015, 2014, we did not know. 2013, we did not know Attu had a moon. And then if you go back to the 2018, and it was literally, we were like eating it for, a year and a half, 2 years, Attu's moon directly over the top of us. That's all you could see. It's amazing now in comparison to where, the journey that it's taken us on. It's fantastic. It's just absolutely unbelievable, the story that this is all about. And there it is, and this is telling everybody, if you could only go back to the early years, this is like 2019, you can plainly see a Saturn. Saturn's yellow moon is sort of cutting into the sun. You can see Nibiru plain as day behind it. And, this isn't
This is one of
Photoshop.
my-
We didn't create this.
This is one of my favorite pictures right here.
Yes, mine too.
I love
it's
it.
up there in the
I
top
think
10.
it's just so telling, and also, I think it's just an exact perfect example of what to look for. It's dark, you have the dark side, and you also have the sun flaring also.
Yeah, and sadly, the name is tagged over the ion tail that's reaching around to Saturn proper. If it would have been raised up just a little bit, you could actually see the light purple ion tail coming in front of the face of a Saturn. And that's always back in 2018-19 when Nibiru and the Saturn started coming back towards us. Oh my God, I was so excited when that started. I thought, what the hell did we, we're never going to see Nibiru again because Nibiru went off in the back 2017-18 along with the Saturn. The Saturn went over the top of the sun in 2018 and was visible in 2019 to the upper right of the sun. And then on the right-hand side, as of 2019, they started coming towards us on the right-hand side. This is 2014 when Attu and Attu's moon first came in after that shot that you saw before 2015-ish, 2014. This was the first close pass, but we didn't have absolute proof of what this shot was, so we didn't have it dated. And this is when it first came in. It came in from the right, went right across our faces from the right-hand side to the left within a matter of a year. And it danced in while meanwhile Uri was, coming forward on the left-hand side. And then they switched places and rotated over the top of us in an odd sort of approach and then go away. And it's just been numerous weird, freaky cycles ever since.
Is that the sun or our moon? You have any matter, but
I think, I didn't even focus on that.
I gotta tell you, it just I like comparing because this is the reason why people don't see this because they're so huge.
I would say
mean,
moon. I would say moon.
I would. That was my first guess. But just think about this,
Yeah.
guys. Look at the size comparison. I know that and we gotta consider that Attu's moon is most likely way further than our moon. Look at the size comparison. The size comparison is just dwarfs our little moon. That is one of the
Yeah, and we know it's a moon because
to
it's got
wrap
craters.
your mind around. One of the hardest things to wrap your mind around is how freaking big all this is. Our moon is
Yeah.
not a
And Nibiru is like 10 times the size of Earth. And then we're talking gas giants that are 5 and 7 times the size of Earth. you know, and Saru being 7 to 8, you know, we don't have any way to, you know, we don't have that absolute information to measure the circumference and all of that, but diameter and then landmass and all. I know how to do that, but there's no way for us to judge this. You'd have to use stick pole geometry, and then you'd be just vastly guessing for about 3 months. But anyway,
But we do know that they are much
oh yeah.
Their system of planets is so much bigger than ours. It's why we believe why they're huddled up together so tightly, as opposed to us that are so
Spread apart.
separated, so far apart. You know, it's always been the craziest thing. Is that, hey, if you think about it, they're bigger, so they're gonna be closer to their star. You know, their orbits are probably much faster around their stars than ours because they're so big and so closer to.
Yeah, and this is about 2015, 2016, when you can actually see the side face illumination of big old purple Atu.
So cool.
And this, you know, this is one of James's captures, and I've always appreciated it. But you know, every time I'm just reminded about who that was, because he deleted a shitload of my work, and I'm still not quite over being irritated with him. Anyway,
I can't tell you how annoyed I am, and I've had fantasies of hacking into his computers just to get it back. I've had dreams where I do that. Actually, I'm not kidding. I love the early work. I'm a little nostalgic about it because it's how I learned. You know, hearing you.
and that was the Understanding the Sky series.
One of the first things that I heard was you calling out, what's his name? That crazy guy, Olsen, the Olsen.
But Olsen or
No,
yeah,
it was
Olsen.
It was Steve Olsen.
And the Money
You were
Boy.
calling him out. It was hilarious. It was hilarious how you were calling him out. And from then on, I was like, I gotta know. I gotta hear more from this guy because it was so honest and so funny and so straightforward, you know. And I think you ended up. doing
Yeah,
an
if you go to my
interview
YouTube channel.
later. What's that?
Yeah, and I did like 3 or 4 with him, and he butchered them. He
Yeah,
edited the
did.
crap out of it all to make
I
himself
didn't
look
even,
good.
you know what? I didn't even
It was-
watch. I tried watching, and I'm like, I can't stomach this because he really just, he murdered that.
He
whole-
butchered those. Yeah.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
And I knew better, but I was
And
doing
we
the
all
interviews
kinda
just so I
knew
could
he-
get more exposure. Because he
And we
had
all
a
kind
huge
of
audience.
knew he was going to do that because he's like that. He's more
Yeah,
questions
he
and
got
answers
himself
with
in
that guy.
Yeah, he got himself into trouble with the religious dollar and money and his family and all sorts of things. And if the cops haven't found him by now, I'm sure they're still looking for him. So anyway,
Uh-oh.
moving on. Yeah, and that is, of course, opinion, not.
But yeah,
Anything else?
that was one of the first things that I heard when I came across you, Sam. Was that because
I had a lot of folks
Is that-
calling me, asking me where he went and where the money went.
yeah, because those old videos were just gold. I really miss that. Again,
Yeah,
I'm
there
nostalgic.
are a few of them left on my YouTube site. Just type my name in on
nostalgic
YouTube,
about
and
it
remember
because I
Hoffman, HOFMAN.
I remember that. I really hate that. That happened, man. That really sucks. So all that is gonna die with them.
Yeah, it's only 2.5 years for the work.
Yeah, gonna
Yeah.
die with them. Just
Only
over
countless
and over.
hours of work, putting those shows together. A lot of them are, to this day, are very embarrassing to me for me to watch. But I think there's like
Oh,
5 or
no,
6 or
really?
7 of them on my YouTube. Samuel
You
Hoffman
shouldn't
YouTube.
do that. That was.
And
That was
I can't even
great.
access that account anymore.
That was great stuff. It was great. It was entertaining
glad you
stuff.
enjoyed
It was entertaining stuff.
Meanwhile, I'm embarrassed as hell to watch them.
You know,
That's hilarious.
I don't watch myself because I know I'm gonna be very critical and I might psych myself into not doing this. So I don't watch myself. I will listen to the episodes, and some of them I'll watch the ones that where I'm not in it, that I'm not in, and then there's been a few where I'm like halfway, where I come in halfway through the show, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't want to watch this
Necessity.
because it just we're very very critical of ourselves. We tend to be, you know, or self conscious or whatever you want.
Look at the color. Look at the color of this.
Definitely the necessity there.
Yep, and the snorkel is just starting to drop.
Wow.
Close past snorkel, pulls up atmosphere, sucks in the moisture, drags it up to the higher atmospheres. Gets really, really cold up there, which builds a softball size hail. And then when it pulls away from planet, all that stuff that it dragged up into the higher upper atmosphere, 50, 60, 80,000 feet, which normally does not happen any other way in our weather system, and then drops all that shit on people and breaks their car windows and puts holes in their roofs and, you know, hits them in the head. And just like that one movie, God, I can't remember what movie that was, but, you know, where people are getting killed by hail in the startup. I think it was 2012 was the movie. But anyway.
Good night, Audrey.
night,
Wow,
Audrey.
this looks like the red asteroid in front of Attu's moon in front of Necessity. Good night, Audrey.
Hello,
The
David.
red asteroid in front of Attu's moon is above, and Necessity is behind. And all the spooky ghosts are in front, and I'm joking. And speaking of spooky ghosts, you should see, oh man, I had one after we talked on the phone the other day, Rebecca. I had one actually walk into my room, and it walked between my my wireless remote controller. I was playing Star Wars at the time, and it disconnected me from my remote because you nothing else could have done that, and then touched me on the arm. And I jumped, and it happened at the same time.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing all kinds of shit flying through the house lately, and I imagine everybody else is too.
I'm surprised.
This is an asteroid
I
under
haven't
Yuri.
seen. I mean, this house I live in is older, like 90 years old. You know, older. You would think,
You know, they walk around all over the place
You
anyway.
watch it.
You can
I
see
don't
them
know why
at
you think that,
7-Eleven and Walmart.
it's
If you keep
not
your eyes open, you can watch ghosts walking around in Walmart.
okay.
Looking for a deal.
Depending on the, you know, and they don't have to have died there. They just walk around anyway. They're everywhere
How
all
old
the
did you
time. I
say your
drive
house
through
was,
them all the
Rebecca?
time. I hate it when that happens.
What, Chris?
How old is your house?
Well, it's from the 1930s.
Okay.
When it was
Wow.
built, so getting close to 100.
Wow.
90 something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
But the best
my
part
dad lives in
is-
Maine. His house is about that old too. Haven't
Okay.
seen it yet, but I don't know if I
Nice.
want to.
No,
venture
the best
inside.
part is it has a big front porch. Like they don't make houses with big front porches, and that's the best part of this house. Is the awesome. So
Spooky.
All
Of
right.
course, you know, ignorance is bliss. If you don't watch them, you don't get scared by them.
Oh,
Yeah, that's probably
I
an asteroid underneath the bottom of Yuri.
really on that.
You know, we have stuff walking around, flying. The cat meows at them all the time, and does not like it when they're coming, you know, in the living room. And she sees them all the time, and then chases them around. And we even all three of us, Shiloh, Nova, and myself, heard her going nuts one evening, and they actually came all together. We sat there in the living room, watched. We could all see a black blob about the size of just a little bit like a ghost cat. And it was black blob, and the cat was playing with it. So, and we all saw it. That's why we're all sitting there in the living room watching this happen. So it was really freaky. I believe that this is the Tan asteroid.
yeah, you're talking about the lower left.
The lower, just to the left of the sun, that rounded blob, and then the tail, the Tan asteroid in front of and under Yuri as Yuri is cutting into the sun. The sun is actually shining through the atmosphere of Yuri because it's not solid. It's got gaseous rings, and you can see the rings above it going around to the side of Yuri. And that says so, especially because of the asteroid placement and angle of that large object. And the only thing that size on that area has to be the Tan asteroid, followed by the Spiral asteroid on the left-hand lower horizontal. But you're seeing it sort of going away from you as it orbits under planet Uri.
Wow.
And of course, on the right-hand side is the Saturn and Saturn's yellow moon, plain as day.
That almost looks like the same
And
picture.
there's a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah, it's the
it
same.
pretty much is. There's a lot of stuff in the air. Look at all of those asteroids. That is all orbiting shit, man. There is tons of it. And the question is the Skull asteroid in the upper left corner? It's the Screaming Demon or the Joker from Batman. Ah. There's that area where it's got some freaky shit. This is the bottom of Uri. Big and puffy and cotton bally.
Wow.
Sun is shining underneath on the bottom on the side that we're on, and this is the bottom of Uri.
What about Nepacity behind it? Or
Yeah, it would be over to the right, which is where the green area at the horizon is.
I just see those vertical stripes, above the sun. I can see that too.
Nice.
So
Right. Yeah, but no, but Uri sort of kind of can
taking
have
front
some of
center.
that, but
Yeah.
they'd be bigger and wider.
Okay.
And
We need
some of
those.
that is shadow.
Yes.
There you go, Wendy.
Okay. What is that?
Green asteroid because it's got dots.
Mm-hmm.
It's got dots. It's a green asteroid.
Too bad. I don't think I have it zoomed in on it. But yeah, that's cool. It's obvious as.
No worries. We got plenty. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Wow.
There's
Yeah,
three.
look at that.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Question is, are there just three or wow. Okay. All right. Reassess. Could this be the big three underneath the bottom base of the left-hand side of the base of Nepacity? Now go back to that other shot prior.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that Nepacity base core? Looks like it now that we think about it. And that could be the big three on the left-hand side of the bottom of the base core of Nepacity.
Wow.
I was wrong on the first one. Because I saw the dots and I thought, okay, the only thing dotted is the green asteroid. But, the big three can be green from side illumination off of the side base of Nepacity as well. And we know that there are three asteroids on the left-hand side of Nepacity. And, for years I didn't want to place them there. But that's where they are. I was always thinking that the big, because we saw the big three before we saw Nepacity. So it's not that they're absolutely attached to Nepacity, but that's currently where they've been for literally the last 8 months for sure. And that, of course, is the side of Uri again.
Wow.
That's funny how you said that. Again, it's Yuri. Yes.
Oh well, over and over and over and over and over and
I
over
know,
and
I
over.
know, I
again,
know. It's like that. Again.
Atu, moon above,
Yeah.
illumination the bottom of Uri and Atu's moon from underneath. And then, of course, on the right-hand side is Saturn's yellow moon, and you can see the ion trail going to the right. Over and over and over again.
That's awesome.
Same thing, and same pattern. But, when the patterns are over and over and over again, they're not just clouds coming in from around the world that match over and over and over again. The patterns equal the planets. And once you learn the patterns, you will learn the planets.
Yeah.
It's a big alien in the sky, and he's looking at us. Yeah. Shining through.
Learn the patterns as well as what the light does, guys. That was really helpful for me, is learning how light affects objects out there. You will not see something, or you will see it depending on light angles. We're seeing a lot of side illumination, spatial illuminations now. Great time to learn right now, guys. Great time to learn.
Oh,
I cannot remember. I think Sam thought this is
Yeah, I'm still thinking this is through glass.
or glass.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's through glass.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
we're look at the. I always when I question it, I always say, well, look, what's the elevation? People in high buildings usually take a picture through glass. We're at the tops of the tree, so we're maybe on the second floor or higher. So now it's interesting. The yellow dot above in the center between the two. That's interesting, but I do believe this is a glass double because they're the same size. If it was a second
And
sun
that
or
flaring-
an
that
asteroid or a
flaring-
lead asteroid,
That flaring too, I just don't really like it.
yeah, I think it's a double painted glass.
Yeah.
Weather
Yeah.
glass, and I think we're looking. Every time this is like the third or fourth time we've looked at it recently, and every time I
I
see
was
it,
gonna say, I feel like
Uh,
we saw that one not too long ago. All of these, I think we're at a point where we
I
saw
think we
these.
boiled this down to a very close space opacity where it was doing that weird bubbly, and then the big three as well.
Yeah.
Because there was so many what we call what everybody calls punch clouds, and yet these aren't punch clouds. These are asteroids underneath multiple
See
different
this one?
bodies.
I don't remember, but I like that one.
We know that is Nepesi base cloud. The fingers. Notice where the light is coming from. So this is beyond Earth. It's being illuminated. I could be wrong, but this could actually. Look at the light. Look, it's coming from the far right. This could actually be. These fingers could actually be Nibiru.
wow.
I was just gonna ask, is this Nibiru?
But that's awful huge. Yeah, it's awful big to be Nepesi.
It's somewhat, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. It's similar to Nepesi, but it just looks way, way big for Nepesi.
Are you saying that the sun is to the left or to the right? To me, it looks like it's to the right. Look at the
Well, the sun is to the right. It's more right than what we're seeing here.
could it?
And I'm thinking that this is like a morning shot, and we're looking sort of northwest. It doesn't make sense any other way. And it would happen.
Yeah.
And remember, Nibiru fingers are spread apart, more like a hand holding it, whereas Nepesi's are short and then like a pie plate,
I agree with that. Yes.
segmented
Yeah,
pie plate, where Nibiru has a hand underneath it with fingers. And we've been seeing more of it. So we've got to also, we got to include that, because before we didn't include it. And now that it's past Earth, it's showing up visually. It's like, oh my God, look, there's Nibiru. Look how huge it is. So, I occasionally make mistakes.
It's okay. I do.
No, it's not. I do want to make mistakes. No,
No, I know, right? It sucks.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Definitely the
Well,
dark blue, light blue is a thing here too.
yeah, absolutely. This is we
Pretty
can
obvious.
absolutely tell you this is an overhead passing planet, and a very big one.
Yeah.
Okay, I have had 2 Coca-Colas
How many?
now, and
3?
look at this. 2.
Oh, it's
This is, of course, that's the base core of necessity. I will be right back.
See, this is where it makes sense to me now. Where it makes sense to me. That what we were talking about earlier, Sam. How it's the base core. That I always confuse with the illuminated asteroid. But when I see pictures like this, I'm like, okay, that makes way more sense, because you can literally see it in this picture. That illuminated core is just It's just uncanny. Did we lose
That's
Sam?
that swirled.
We-
Sorry,
Mm.
that was that swirled base cloud of Nipicity, though. You know that swirled
Yeah,
one. That
yeah,
let
yeah.
me get it here. Right there.
Yep.
That's what that is. And you see that swirl at the bottom. And Nipicity has like fingers that kind of come down. I mean, they swirl downward. One of my old videos has a good capture of that, but you can see them coming out of that, swirling down towards Earth, almost like
okay.
tiny tornadoes or something. But they're little
Wow.
fingers that come down.
Yeah, and it is actually
Cities.
getting slightly smaller as time goes by.
So dramatic. It's
Yeah.
Opacity is so dramatic. Makes for great pictures. Just such dramatic pictures.
Oh, did that one.
Normal.
Something cool, something different.
1, 2,
That's
3.
Yep.
3 edges. We know that's the bottom of Nipicity also. And look how dark it is underneath of it. And look how weird the illumination is. And it's green.
Egg is here, and she's listening with her mom as they're driving.
My egg, Mom.
Hi, Egg's mom. Good to see you. Hear you. Not hear you, but you're hearing us. That's what it is. Okay. Glad you're here. Keep going the wrong direction. I feel like we've covered those. I'm gonna back out of that one. We did
I
it.
think we're
It's
all
all
getting to the point we're getting dingy. An hour for us. We're allowed. We're allowed.
And yeah, we made it to 4 hours. Wow, that's pretty
Wow.
good. So, yeah, I feel like I didn't have as much prepared today.
Okay.
So
It's okay.
I'm at a point where I don't have new things to show.
I think we've been doing just fine all along. So,
Okay.
we've been on top of it. We're, sticking to the topic and we're doing our job.
I think
That
it's
is
been. I think it's been a good show.
It has.
Yeah.
It has been.
But I will say,
Yeah, like I said
I've
before,
had
I think we
I've
should
had
at
a
some
long
point in
night,
time
and
talk about single planet.
I've had a very long night, guys. My body just
Are you tired?
is about
Yeah.
to crash here soon. Yeah,
If you're
Yeah.
ready to go, then you may go.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna call it because I've been up since 10 last night. I'm going on
Oh my word!
4 hours. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta go get some rest.
Yeah.
But it was a great show, guys. I'll keep listening if you guys are gonna stay on. But I think it was a good show, right?
Yeah.
There's
I
a
think
lot
I'm
of
gonna go
good
too.
A lot
Yeah.
of great stuff.
I hear you guys. Well, Sam, you want to just call it here?
Yeah, we might as
You
well.
wanna go play
If
Star
everybody else
Wars?
is leaving, then we can do that. Yep, I go play
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Go play Star Wars? Okay,
Yep.
let's just do that then, because I feel like we've covered the good, the best of everything we have.
Well, then everybody out there that is listening, and I haven't been on the comments since I got back. Please, like and subscribe and get some views going on as I swallow with a cough drop here. Rebecca's YouTube channel, so she can get her plaque. We got to raise up our numbers. You have to
Yes.
share with your friends.
I need a
The
million.
only way this will become common science is if everybody gets on board with this. We're not guessing this should be the new culminated science, but unfortunately, it's kind of dragging its heels. Remember, the truth crawls like a snail, and lies have wings. So let's do our best to participate as citizen scientists and make this go viral.
It's gonna happen. It has to. It's so
Got
too good.
Has to.
It's
Yeah.
got it's too good. Yeah, we
Good
can't. Well, hey, this is our little secret.
That's it.
We must share
Yeah.
this with people. That drives me nuts. Being the only one that knows this, it feels so lonely, and I really just want to share it. Like, it's just one of those things that it's so
Right.
cool. Like, it's like when you're a little kid and you have this toy, you just want to go share it with your friends. That's kind of how I feel. Like, I just want to share this with everybody because it's the coolest thing ever. And it's not all just coolness. There's a lot that we need to also prepare for and kind of be aware of too. So I get caught up in
Climate
the
saving.
I get caught up really in the exhilaration of all this all the time, and
Thank you,
sometimes I gotta
teleporter
remind
mission.
myself
Thank you, teleporter.
that we are in trouble.
Thank you.
You know, thank you, teleporter mission. Thank you very much.
I
So
appreciate it.
I
Definitely.
appreciate it. So, but yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll say
Yeah.
goodnight.
I guess we'll be back, as you all know, next Saturday, every Saturday at 3 o'clock. So, can you believe next Saturday be July 6th?
No.
I kept looking at it. I'm like, July,
Yeah,
July,
heard it
July.
What's happening? What
It's
is happening?
July. What this whole half the year? This half a year gone. I don't know. It was just Christmas. So
Yeah.
anyway, so okay, guys. Well, let's go ahead and end it here.
Hey, before I hope you can hear this.
Yes.
Well, before I go off, I want to share the soundtrack of one of the cards I got for my birthday, and I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it, but I'll put it right up to the mic.
Okay. That's right. Sam had a birthday.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 3 days ago.
That's
Sorry,
hilarious.
I have to mention that, Sam. Is it
What is it? A dog?
Is it? I think it's a
Yeah,
dog barking.
it says birthday greetings from the Bark side.
God.
Awesome.
Boy,
Awesome.
that's perfect. That is cute.
Okay.
They know you well, right? Who is that from?
Yep, got me pegged. It's from Nicole.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
dog lover. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
That's cute.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
Right.
happy
Yeah,
belated
thank
birthday.
you.
I mean, it was your birthday 3 days ago. It was Sam's birthday.
Right.
You're another
Happy birthday, Sam.
June one. You're another June baby, huh?
Yep, cancers.
Yeah. I'm from a
Cancerian.
family of Geminis and Cancers in my family. So
Yep.
Mm.
I got one in the house with me as a Gemini. I know Shiloh's a Gemini. So.
yeah.
Anyhow,
We're a
Yeah.
special breed.
love the family footage, by the way.
Yeah, always. Yeah, you have to make time for those things, you know. I want to say, you know, on that note, don't get too caught up in all this craziness, guys. Do the family thing. Make time for yourself. Keep living life. You know, don't get too caught up in the negativity of, you know, this is bad, but it's also beautiful. Life goes on. Just keep on, you know, doing those
And we
things.
will not be passing out green Kool-Aid this week.
Yeah.
No green Kool-Aid.
That's
No.
Not this week. Tinfoil hats, yes. Green Kool-Aid, no. I just, I don't know why I threw that in
I
there.
know we're not that
Yeah.
level. No.
Yeah, and we're not that crazy. You know, we're the
No.
truth, and the rest of it is unfortunate unawareness that this is going on. This is very real. So
It is.
can't wait
Get
till
on board,
next week.
guys. Get on board. We'll see you next week.
Okay,
All right,
guys.
everybody. Good night.
Everybody. See you
Good
next
Have a
week.
good night and have a good
Bye
weekend.
bye.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. Bye bye.